Yeah. Welcome to the Bob and Tam Show tonight.
And our excellent adventures.
Yep. We got some things to tell you tonight. We also got special guests coming up tonight, too. We got Rod from the Buffalo Chip will be on in about 15, 20 minutes. So that's going to be pretty exciting. We got some questions we're going to be asking him, the ones that you guys ask us all the time. And we want to come back and let him answer it personally because he is the owner of the Buffalo Chip. It's been, 42 years, 43 years now he's been there?
Something like that. 42, I think it's going on.
Pretty long time.
Yep.
So pretty exciting. We'll wait a few minutes for everybody to kind of come on before we start telling you what crazy week we had this week. Mike's on. Mike needs to hang around a little longer after Rod's here because we got a special announcement about your event that we might want to, we're going to bring to you guys. So we want to make sure Patsy comes on too so you can hear all that. So
Harley Frank's on there.
Yeah, Harley Frank's there and he's out there in the snow. Pating. We got some snow, but it's looks like we might, by the time we get up tomorrow morning up in Wallapai, which is over by Kingman, Arizona, should have some snow on the ground. We're supposed to get around, probably about an hour from now, we're supposed to get all the rain that was in California. It's coming this way. So our daughter called earlier and said, it's been raining there all freaking day. So let's see who else we got going on here today.
There's Danoa.
Yeah.
How you doing?
And Fender Kitty, there you go. She's on tonight.
How you doing?
Up there trying to stay warm in Colorado up there.
Yeah.
So you probably got some snow on the ground up there.
This park, yeah.
Yeah. And
Komodo.
there you go. He's down there where it's freaking 80 degrees, he told me the other day. And I said, so, hey, we're going to have the extremes of those because we should have Neil coming on, too, where it's probably the freaking coldest in the United States. And there's Patsy. She's on. So we're going to
55 and clear there.
Oh, Westminster.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to say Westminster,
I know,
California.
I always think that too.
We know where that's at.
Yep.
Raining all day in Oceanside.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of sucks.
That's where our daughters
Oh, that's
are
right.
at.
That's California.
Yeah.
We're all here finally. Yeah.
Both of you.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. 80 down here in Florida.
Yeah. 6. How's that? How you doing, 6? How's it down there?
I think it jumped really quick.
I don't know.
Somebody.
Raining all day in Oceanside. You got him. We're all finally here.
Yep, got that.
There's
Michigan.
a little fall. Yeah, there you go.
And
Joseph Smith, how about that? He's here.
Got a lot of people coming on. That's why we kind of went back to Sundays. I know even though football's on, I kind of made it a little bit later tonight because the game's probably, we're not watching any football today. So the games are probably on to where either winning or not. I think the one with Peyton Manning or whatever was already the one should already be over, I think. I don't know.
Tom Brady?
That's it. Tom Brady, whatever. Shows you how much football
I don't even watch football and I know who he is.
Antonio's on.
Hey there.
Oops, getting a lot of people coming on. So we'll.
Ken in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
But it's cold up there. We have our hot tea we're drinking.
Parking in Mendoza?
Pouring.
Oh, pouring. I don't have my glasses on. We got the screen a little farther away tonight than we normally have.
I can see it. I don't have my glasses. I don't need them. I got them in case I need them, but I don't have them on right now.
And Mark's on.
Mark W. Hi, Betsy. Behave yourselves. Yeah. I think they're on.
There's Daryl S.
Yep.
I see him commented a bunch today on
some of the
videos he's been writing. He's been writing. Question, Bob. If I book Camp Easy Stay Express, can I take the tent kit and camp with you?
Like a cool kid.
I doubt it, but you could talk to Marcus.
Yeah.
We got a really good relationship with Marcus, but I don't think he'll let you move the tent. Yeah. You can also come over and you can definitely
hang out. You can hang out with us.
Anybody that's there, that's one of our subscribers. We have a lot of you already that been going to the chip for years, and you already got your designated area, and that's fine. You're more than welcome to come on over. We'll let you know as we get closer. Rod's going to speak a little bit tonight about some of the stuff we got going on, but we're going to have a lot of things going on. We've already got a sponsor that wants to foot one of the barbecues for us, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And so that'll be pretty neat. And I'm going to talk to Rod about some barbecue grills. And
yeah, I guess we'll need to
see if he'll fix us up with that. And so we're going to
Eastwood, you want me to take the controller?
Yeah, if you want.
There's Emery. How you doing? I need to call you to work out all those details in January. So
yes. So things could be So why do we have a crazy week?
Oh,
probably the worst thing that could have happened to me. I'm thinking this year. I'm thinking if there's anything else that was that tragic. Well, somebody broke a windshield. I think that was this year, wasn't it?
That was when we were in
so,
Lake of the
what else
Ozarks.
did you do this year? I don't know if she did anything else. So, what we told
my fault.
That's right. So, we had big plans this weekend. We were supposed to be doing it live from somewhere else, and we're going to talk about that too tonight. So,
but that got canceled.
There was a great event that was going on this weekend, and it got canceled. And we're going to talk about that because actually one of you guys told me about it. And I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe I've never heard of this. Yep. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So we'll talk about that. So that didn't happen. So we told you last weekend we had an emergency that we had to go to our daughter's house, to our youngest grandson that's in that house.
Grandson number 2.
That his birthday party.
He's usually on here.
His birthday party, a bunch of his friends were supposed to come, and some of them got sick, and this happened and that happened. And our daughter called up and said, I don't have anybody hardly showing up. My sister's coming with her 2 kids, which is our other 2 grandsons, and his sister's coming, her husband's sister, and her daughter, and that's it. And there wasn't going to be anybody else there. And they said, is there any chance you guys can come over for the weekend? And I'm like, we just got back. We were over there for Thanksgiving. And I'm like, I don't know. It cost $150 for the truck. That's as long as I gas up here and we don't run out of gas coming back. Buying an Arizona gas, which is now $3.09 for unleaded, and diesel is $4.09. Not too bad. I'm watching prices. We're kind of with everybody else right now. There's a few little cheaper, but not kind of, it seems like everybody's trying to get us all used to that $3 price, I guess. So we ended up happening, quick short story because we don't want to get too long with that because in 15 minutes Rod's coming on. So we told you last week that we made that trip. And what we ended up doing was riding with the other in-laws that are our daughter's husband's parents. They moved out here from Georgia after we did, trying to get out of Georgia, trying to get closer to the family. Both their kids live in California now. And,
like ours.
Yeah. So not married to all the same, but other daughter's married to somebody else. And so we ended up deciding, because their car, they got a Buick SUV. I don't know what the hell kind of car it is. It probably gets a lot better gas mileage. So I said, he doesn't like to drive a long distance anymore. He used to be a truck driver and he don't want to do it anymore. I said, I'll drive one way. I don't care. I'll drive both ways. I don't care. It don't make any difference to me. I've driven this.
We'll split the gas.
From California to here, I've probably driven it over 100 times in the last 10 years. So one more time isn't going to make that big a difference. And I said, we'll pay for half the gas. Not a big deal. We'll go over on Saturday, come back on Sunday. So we get in the car on Saturday and we're trucking down the road, and both mamas are in the back seat. And all of a sudden I hear, and we're like, what's wrong? That's the other mama. And she says, oh, I got something in my throat. And
she says, I don't know what's wrong. I got a dry spot or a tickle or.
It's like, whatever. So all the way for 250 miles, we just heard about every 15 minutes. So, okay, no big deal. So Saturday night, the party was Saturday afternoon, late afternoon, into the evening. A couple of our daughter's friends came over too. So there's a few more other people there. Another little kid came, which really wasn't a friend of our daughter, a friend of our grandson. It was birthday, but it was a friend of our daughter's. I don't know. Doesn't matter. And so there's another kid there, but they really didn't do it. Stayed with the parents the whole time. So they were all kind of in the kitchen. And
same ages.
All of a sudden, the other mama came in and said, I'm really tired. I'm going to go lay down.
I'm going to go to therapy.
And so we're like, whatever. We left about, I don't know what time we leave, 6, 7, I think we left.
Yeah, 7 in the morning.
Well, she normally sleeps till like noon or 1 o'clock. So she got up at 5 to get ready to go. 20 people got to put her face on and take it out of a box and put it on. So I figured, okay, she's probably tired because we made her get up early. Whatever. I don't care. Don't make any difference to me. So we're sitting on the couch waiting. It's a couple more hours go by, and all of a sudden I hear my daughter go, you got 101 fever. And I'm like, what? She's got a what? And I'm like, oh, it's just the sniffles. It's something I ate. She ate too much sugar. Well, too much sugar ain't going to give you 101 freaking temperature. I'm telling you that. I ain't no doctor, but I can pretty much tell you that got nothing to do with it. Well, I thought she was puking all night long. We stayed in the boys' rooms. She stayed in one room. We stayed in the other room. And we kept hearing
on the couches.
Yeah, so I kept hearing her getting up all night. Well, I'm thinking she's in the bathroom puking. And all I can hear is
she was just coughing.
I don't know. They said, well, if you heard her puke, you know it. So we didn't hear that, so I didn't. So what ended up happening was we get up on Sunday morning and she's like, oh, I just feel awful. And I'm like, I'm already on my phone looking. I'm trying to see if they're out in Corona, California. So I'm looking at Ontario Airport. Can I rent a freaking car one way to Vegas? And we'll drive back here, pick up the family truckster, and we'll go to Vegas, drop the car off. Nope, nothing. So I'm like, you know what else? Where else can I get a freaking car at? U-Haul. I'll rent a freaking truck. So I type it in, smallest truck, little 10-foot truck. For 2 days, they want $400 freaking dollars for it. And I'm like, no, I ain't paying $400. So I look at my one son-in-law, or my daughter, I said, they got 2 cars. And I'm like, maybe we're going to have to end up taking one of your cars home, and we'll come back Monday, and we'll follow with the truck, and then bring your car back and go back. And we're like, oh, I know. And she's like, oh, I don't feel so bad this morning. I don't know.
Hey, Jeff.
So once again, they sat in the back seat. So she's right behind me, and she's behind the other driver, the other daddy, and on the other side of him. And same thing. She's kind of coughing, and I'm just thinking, geez, here it goes. And so I'm thinking about I should crack the window, but I'm thinking, if I crack the window, she's right behind me. She's probably, close that window. So I didn't do it. So what happens Monday morning, we get up and there's where we're at. We spent about off and on 4 days in bed. We get up a few hours, go back to bed, 4 hours, go back to bed. Slept. Some nights we were in bed at 5 and got up at 9. Some nights I got up every hour on the hour. We never got sick. A lot of coughing. We did get a fever, average between about 100.3 to 99. So we didn't really have much. Fever came in and out. It was kind of weird. Some days I'd have it for an hour, and next thing you know, it's gone, and then it comes back. I have no idea. Really tired. So what screwed all this up? So we're still hacking around. Cough drops. If it gets too crazy.
Just in case. We had hot tea in front of us that didn't know if we'd make it through the whole live. I don't know.
And so what screwed up? What makes it the worst week? I didn't get nothing done in the freaking garage. So my plan was by today, I would have been all done with the wiring inside, other than the stuff I would have had to do up on the ceiling. Because I got to talk to a guy about a scissor lift. He was there today, but I couldn't talk to him because I'm not ready to do nothing. Because I went over there today for a couple hours, and that's about all I made it, a couple hours. And so we're not 100% yet. So that's my first problem. Second thing was I got an RV box now that was supposed to come in Friday. Actually came in on Tuesday. So I could have had it on Tuesday and put it in. And today we probably, by now, we would at least had the city or the county would have approved the electric outside. The pole would have been turned on. The RV box would have been turned on. And I got a plug out there. And then that would have been done to where before Christmas, we probably would have had our electricity turned on at the building. Now we're probably looking sometime January before all that's going to get done. So I got to go over there next week. Monday, we got a guy, my grading guy, did all the grading. We're going to rock the one side. If you guys have seen the lot, where our lot goes down the hill, it's kind of got washed out. And so I want to we're going to put the big giant boulders all on there. So
hit me in the face.
And so we're going to do all that. So I might get him to help me do a few of the things next week in the back for the wiring. Because now I called the city guy, county guy, and he's like, you didn't bury all that wire yet already, did you? Sure we did. I already had it graded over, nice and packed down for you. And he's like, well, we really like to see it. Dig it up if you want. And he said, well, can you dig us maybe about 2 holes? We can look inside of it.
Make sure it's 24 inches.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how close, because once again, we're in sand. So what I went out today and went to Home Depot, and I got some big, giant, round cylinders that you normally pour concrete in. I got them really tall. And so that's what we're going to do probably Monday. I'm going to go over there if it's not raining and have them dig out drop those cylinders in there, and then measure it. If it's less than 24 inches, then what we're going to do is have our rock buddy bring some crap and dump all around it all to bring it up.
It's a Christmas Vacation movie all over again. Strap grandma to the roof rack.
Damn it. Why didn't you call me? Oh, man.
We would have done it.
We even got a rocking chair back here we could use. Blanky, and she's been all set. She had a dog too. We might have left him in. That's a whole other issue with the dog.
Anyway.
So we had 2 dogs in this little vehicle.
Minivan.
And of course, they got to bring blankets and pillows. It's not like my daughter's got any blankets and pillows at her house. And it's like, that's the last, we don't even travel with the pillows anymore. And there's always bound. It's like our daughter. They probably
said they've had the flu all this week.
Our daughter's like her. Probably got 100 freaking pillows in her house. And if you can't find, actually except on the other grandson's bed this time, which we never usually sleep in his bed. And it's like, hell, he's got the better pillows. We like nice flat pillows. And he had the good ones. The other one kind of had flatties, but they got all different ones.
Here he goes. See, he's talked too much about it. Now he's gonna drink your hot tea. My grandma got run over by a reindeer.
So yes, so that's our crazy week, and I don't even know what more is going on. So we'll see what happens. I guess I brought this phone. I don't know. We didn't get anything on to see if we're even on.
Oh yeah.
Everybody can hear us.
I guess. Well, they're answering and they're talking. My phone's over there. I need to go get it. I don't got enough room here to get in and out. I just lost my other pillow.
I don't know what to tell you. Then she pulled her back out this morning.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what I did to my back, but it's killing me.
New phone downloaded a stupid YouTube music. I don't know freaking YouTube music. I updated 2 of the phones. It took 3 days because we don't normally update phones because we don't. Seems like every time you update something, it makes it worse. So I didn't remember to monetize it. Everybody got to see a commercial at the beginning. So I am doing that. So hey, we don't look too bad. Look, it's working. So not too bad. So that's up and running. So that's a good sign. I didn't check Facebook to see if we should be live on Facebook. And we'll get some Facebooking going. And it's pretty exciting. So today we got a bunch of different things we're going to talk about. We had a big event we were going to do this weekend. That's been postponed now.
You can tell them about that because we're not probably going to go to it now because it's going to be while we're gone, probably more than likely.
I don't know. What they have out here in California is David Mann's Chopper Show, which started in 2004. That's the day that the year that David Mann died. And I looked up there. I couldn't figure out why he died. They didn't say. He wasn't that old. He's only in his 60s. And he was born in 1940, I think is what they said he was born in. But he's actually from Missouri. He grew up there until he he had my dream. Once he got out of high school, he said, screw that, and he moved to California. And got choppers. But the funny thing about it, because we actually met, if you guys ever watch WIMS, WEEMS, we actually did an interview with him a couple years ago before he really got his YouTube channel going. And he actually, what I didn't know, David Mann, all the pictures that he makes are painted were bikes that were made up in his head. None of them were. Yeah, David Mann. That's what I said.
All right. I thought you said, I didn't know if they thought that WIMS did it.
No. And so what the WIMS has done is he's replicated some of those bikes. And it's pretty neat. And he just actually raffled one off the other day. And I'm not sure how that all goes. We need to, some of you guys do some investigation with some of these guys that are doing this. I want to get a hold of the WIM because we did meet him, and I think he remembers who we are. And he let me ride his old vintage Triumph.
Yeah, a 57, I think
it was. Completely rusted away after he told me I came back. That he couldn't restore it because if he does, it's just going to fall apart. The forks are just held on by rust.
Heart condition, even asleep, they said.
But I mean, that's just ultimate.
Really, yeah.
I know the Monkey Man goes to that other chopper show that's like 24 years old now. I think it's just was posted the other day. I seen the link to that said they picked the day, but it was last year. I think it was more of a mud run than it was a motorcycle thing, because I think it rained the whole time they were there. But this is more. I watched a couple of videos that were on YouTube today about it, and nobody did anything good on it. They showed a lot of the bikes and stuff, but I mean, really nobody ever did what we do. And I think it'd be really neat. We had contacted the promoter that puts it on and just said we sent him a couple of videos, and he said, "Oh, I would love to have you guys. It'd be a great honor to have you guys come. Whatever you need, we're here to help you out." And we're like, that's great. We're going. So I booked a hotel room. We were going to ride over Saturday morning, take the truck, drive over. We're going to stay in a hotel. We'd be there bright and early. It's only on Sunday. It's 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. And they got vendors there. They have artists that are there selling stuff. They got motorcycles. Some of the motorcycles, I looked at previous videos, and were some that were actually looked like David Mann's bike. And so you see that everywhere. He got really, I forget what the first magazine he was in, but the one he ended up that everybody knows about is Easy Rider. Easy Rider had hired him, and I think he did 23 or 28 pictures just for them, for the magazine and stuff he did. And then you see the artwork everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere you go in any motorcycle rally you go, there's David Mann's paintings there. So it's really a neat thing. And I actually was hoping the guy would still be alive. And I don't hear anybody talk about him being alive, so I wasn't expecting him to be alive. But then when I Googled him the other day and I looked at it, and there's not a lot of stuff on him, which is kind of sad, because there's actually an actor, a black guy that's actually, his name's David Mann, spelled the same and everything. So it comes up with him first. So it took me a little while. And all I could find was a Wikipedia crap. But only thing bad about Wikipedia is
anybody can change it.
You can change it. She can change it. I can change it today. Anybody can put stuff into it. And that's what kind of sucks, because the internet's bad enough as it is. And now you got something that people are just putting in what they think it's supposed to be. So that's why, I don't know. I would like to go to it, and then I would learn a little bit more about him too, because there's probably a lot more people. And then with the camera and stuff that we have and the way we do videos, we'd probably get you guys a lot more information about this. And I think it'd be a really neat event. It might be, now this year it's going to be, normally it's this weekend, the 11th. It's normally that same weekend every year since 2004. I think it said 24 years. And so
what happened is it's raining in California.
So it's only twice in all those years they had to postpone it. So I had looked at the weather earlier in the week, and it just said spotty chance of rain. Well, who cares? Spotty, it ain't the first time we've been to a motorcycle rally and we got wet.
Yeah.
So, bring the rain gear and we'll stand out there like we rode a motorcycle with and do our filming. But so then actually it's George. George, I don't know if he's on the channel. That hasn't come on yet, but he's one of the ones going to Sturgis with us. Be camping down there with us in our area. And we met George. He stays at the Buffalo Chip a lot.
And 2 years ago.
And so it's really neat. And so he kind of told me about it. Well, actually put it on our Facebook group. And then he put it that it got canceled. And I'm like, holy crap. I Googled it.
I was praying it got canceled, because there was no way we could have.
Because we would have went anyway.
I know he would have went. He would have tried, and we would have suffered for it, because we can barely get up and go out, and we went to Home Depot and came back home, and that was about it. That was our.
We went out to eat. Went to In-N-Out.
Yeah, he got his In-N-Out, his weekly fix.
So
they sell stickers on the internet. Can't charge them to do giveaways. They were talking about.
But see, the giveaways. See, they sell the stickers, but they're still saying you're getting a chance on a raffle. Well, when I Googled raffles for most states, it says that raffles fall under gambling, unless you're a non-for-profit charity. Now, there's some exceptions for that. Now, I know the guy that used to sell them in Vegas now lives in Texas now. And then Wims just did it in Florida. Well, I'm just concerned about is I would love to do something like that too. I can't believe Wims, when he did it, 6 days, he raised $25,000 and for this bike. And it'd be a great way to, for us, it'd be great to get something like that from one of our dealerships, and we could raffle that bike off and then use that money to buy the bikes we want to buy and fix up for the veterans, which we want to start talking about that again, because starting next year, we want to get this ball rolling since the shop will be built up. That's one of the things I've been wanting to do for a long time, is do something for veterans. Well, we first wanted to get newer bikes, but it doesn't look like, I got a few dealers actually said they're considering giving us some bikes, but nothing 2014 or newer. So we're now at the point of saying, hey, we'd like to get some Sportsters, some Softail, things like that. And what we're looking to do is give the bikes away to veterans that have PTSD. And we've got a couple of vet organizations we've already checked out. We've actually had some of them already reach out to us and wants us to work with them. And we want to do it all over the United States, because we have rallies all over. So we wanted to give one away down in Florida, one up in Sturgis. And that's what I figured. And
Frank said Wims was for the Forgotten Angels.
Okay. And
come on, I'm gonna let you outside.
So Wims is a great guy, and I can't think of his name, and I can't remember anybody's name. Jared. So it's nothing. What is it?
I think it's Jared.
Jared. She thinks it's Jared. And but we went to his house and we called him up and said, hey, I don't know how we found him in the first place.
Told him about the Forgotten Angels thing they were doing over there in Tampa, and we were in town and we were gonna go, but it happened to be the weekend of something else we were doing.
And so we went to his house, and he had the bikes there and stuff, and he had kind of just got his YouTube channel going. It was about 2 years ago, I think it was, when we did it. Probably coming up on 3 this year coming up. And I told him we need to stop by and talk to him again.
Is it really his birthday?
Who?
Mike's. He said
it was the other day.
Oh,
I don't think it's now. I think it was the other day it came up and said.
Well, happy belated birthday. I didn't see that. I don't get on Facebook all the time, so I need something, because this is not working. There we go. Maybe. There you go.
So that's kind of what we got going on. We had that going on. I think it was going to be, because what we were going to do is maybe Saturday, we were probably going to try to do a live from, because it was actually going to be in Ventura, California. Yeah. So it would have been about 500 miles? No, it wasn't that far. It was 5 hour, 6 hour ride from here. And from our daughter's house, it was about 150 miles. So I figured we'd just go from here. We'd stay up there. We're going to stay 2 days. We're going to go up on Saturday. And Sunday, we would do our live. For Sunday night, we were going to do our live, and we would do it from Ventura. And we would tell you all this great stuff we got to see and do. And that's what tonight was supposed to be about. So in this case, it all kind of worked out right. But it's going to be on February. I think the 18th is what they picked. She thinks we're already going to be on our way to Daytona.
Away.
So Daytona, which I don't want to talk too much about Daytona, we've already gotten calls from some of the big bars down there already telling us that they're starting to sign their bands down there. And we're going to know here in the next week or so, some of the great bands, actually one of the greatest. There's some great bars there. There's really only two, or there's really only one. Well, there's two, I guess, that have really good concerts. Who is it? It's the Iron Horse and the Broken Spoke. Bad news is they're owned by the same people, but nothing wrong with that. But we talked to them was it yesterday?
Yeah.
And they called us. See, we're getting special. And he called us up and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And we chatted with him. Well, they've been sick. They went to Galveston, and for 10 days they were down in dirt.
In the dirt?
Yeah, got sick. He said it felt like he was in the dirt. He said he's already taking a dirt nap, and he woke up and he thought, "Holy crap, get that dirt off me! I'm getting out of here." You know what a dirt nap is?
It's been going around. It's crazy.
But I did hear some other people that were in Galveston kind of got I don't know if this was COVID or if it's a flu. I don't know what the hell all this is. But it wasn't a good thing. And we hear it, to me, this was almost the exact, wasn't as bad as what we had in Sturgis. But it lasted longer this time. But it was very similar to the thing we had on July 4th this year when we were in Sturgis, which we didn't get tested then. But after we had it, we talked to people that were in Sturgis. They ended up saying that was one of the strands of COVID, which there's probably 2 million strands by now.
Probably it's going around.
And so I always figure if you don't really puke, if you're not puking your guts out, you usually don't have the flu. Usually the flu, it's coming out of every orifice. And then some extra orifices you didn't know you had. And so here we had different side effects. She had her nose ran away for the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Today
it was like my chest didn't hurt. I just coughed. And then yesterday, I guess my nose ran, my eyes watered. It almost felt like allergy. So then I started taking allergy pills and the Flonase. Like I said, I feel okay, just weak. Just feel real weak and crazy.
Might text Rod.
I know I was going to.
It's 5:30 already.
Businesses. Congratulations. Yep, Jimmy O.
The guy they called. So so Mike and Patsy's on here while we're waiting for Rod, because he's supposed to come on a quarter after, and he's in our same time zone. So we'll wait and see. I don't know if he's trying to go to the store and talk to us from shop, or he's going to talk to us from home. But just in case we run into problems, if you guys don't know, on opening day in Sturgis, we're going to, the last couple of years, they've had a parade go in from up on dock, from the Crossroads bar down into the amphitheater. They've had a parade. Sometimes it's four-wheelers and motorcycles. If any of you watch the Badgers, they did broke a world record of the longest poker run.
Yep.
So the group that they had come in, they got to ride in the parade, I think these last 2 years. Well, this year we got something special. We've actually got a future bride and groom, which is Mike and Patsy, which is actually on here tonight.
And Mike's birthday too, so how about that?
So they're actually going to lead the parade in. I don't know. I haven't figured out how we're going to do it yet. I don't know if I'm going to be up there in the parade too, or if we're going to just film it as you come in. We got to wait and see. We'll know a little bit more as we get closer to the event. But what we wanted to show you is I went ahead and did the extra mile for you.
He is now officially an ordained minister in the state of South Dakota.
Holy Jennifer Jupiter's Batman. And so I am able to do weddings now in South Dakota. And so I'm all legal and all that. And I got to send my money to get my
official certificate.
Yeah, official certificate, not the one I printed off the internet. And that's like $48 for that.
It says that this side has 20 or more minutes. It says I will let you in the studio as the guest host, can be added to a broadcast at any time. So you have to be waiting for admin to get me into the broadcast.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's there. All right. You made it.
Here you got to get put your ear thing in.
We'll get you on here in just a second.
Yeah. So we got him on there. And so in just a few minutes here, or a few seconds, yours is right there on the table.
Oh.
We're going to get Rod to come on, and we'll get him going. So it's kind of neat. Get my mouse on this side. So let's see. We're going to have it set up. Well, let's see. We'll bring him in first. Oops. Let me put my glasses on. I don't want to delete him like I have other people.
Banned him. He's banned a few people.
There we go. There we are.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Well, what a break.
All right. So we want to, for those of you that don't know, which there probably is people in the world that don't know, the Buffalo Chip, which is, to me, well, it is. It's the largest campground in the Sturgis area. It's probably the largest campground in motorcycle rally areas. So he's got the largest campground. He's got the biggest concerts. He's got all the events. His name is
party place.
Rod, and they call him Woody because his last name is Woodruff. And he owns it, and his family, his daughter, his son, his wife, all of them work at the Buffalo Chip too. So it's a big family organization. So I want to welcome you to the channel tonight.
Well, thank you.
And how cold is it there?
You know, just been a beautiful day. It was like 20 some degrees and hardly a breeze. And that makes for a pretty nice day.
You didn't ride the bike in, did you?
I stayed on. I stayed inside and worked all day. So it was just about 68 or 69 all day long.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're about our temperature. We were 68 or 9 today, but we had about 30, 40 mile an hour winds, which were cold. So it actually felt like it was about 30 degrees.
And it was overcast. So when the sun's not out here, it's cold.
Yeah. Well, you know, everybody's getting ready for a big snowstorm. So that's the news of the day, right?
Yeah, it's coming across. California got all the rain today, and I guess the rest of us are going to get
heading that way.
Yeah, I know up in the, we're close to Grand Canyon, and they're expecting a lot of snow there. And
tonight, tomorrow.
Flagstaff and all that, they're going to be getting snow. They're talking 12 to 20 inches of snow. So could use the water, I guess. And so, yeah. So it's pretty neat. So we've got some questions we're going to ask Rod tonight. And so we'll start off with we're going to ask questions that we've been asked by our subscribers. So the first thing is, with something as big as the Buffalo Chip, when do you start planning the rally?
You know, we plan 24/7, 365. Our real goal is to be having everything planned up for the 85th, which is in 2025. So we're working on that. Our improvements, our planning is heavy on that, which doesn't mean we're not paying attention to this year, because we absolutely are. So we're busy working on booking acts. We're busy on planning new construction, some new road surfaces, just things that we know the people want. Plus, we have some new activities coming in that's going to require some changes a little bit in some of the grounds, and you know, moving things around so we can make everything fit.
Sounds good. One of the questions that people always ask, and it's not just necessarily your circumstance, but all of our rallies, we have the same question. Why does it take so long for the owners to announce the bands?
You know, that's a good question. And yeah, it's frequently asked. It's frustrating. We've been trying to speed things up for 40 years, right? And it's just one of those things that doesn't seem to happen. I'm amongst the general public that used to think, well, look, you just call somebody up, you offer them a job, they say yes or no, and it's over, right? And that's just not the way it works with the bands, because they have managers, they have agents, everybody has families, they have different religious holidays, which is a feature right now. And then you have X number of band members. Every one of them is married. You know, some of them have children, and so they got to all get this together. And here we are trying to make plans for something that is a year ahead of time, 2 years ahead of time, 3 years ahead of time. And the last time we had somebody say yes early was Snoop Dogg, and then he just disappeared. And now he's disappeared on a whole tour of other people. And so it's a tough road to hoe. We had an announcement we were planning to make next week, for example, and had a call, I'll say probably Tuesday. And they said, well, the band just decided they weren't going to work in 2023. So we'll talk with you later, right? So the whole thing's off. So when you're a rock and roll star, those little things like having said yes before don't matter much, right? If you want to change your mind, you just change it. And what can you do about it, right?
Yeah, that stinks.
So when you announce concerts, do you announce them as you get them in, or do you pick like for instance, the first Saturday is always going to be the biggest night. Do you hold that one off, or if they would call you tomorrow, would you announce that right away?
Oh, we first of all have to make sure it's real.
Yes, I understand that.
Then we need to have somebody put it in black and white so that if something happens, at least we have a written confirmation that shows that we just didn't make it up, so we'd have something to talk about, right?
Yep.
So we don't want to get in that position. So no, it's always going to take some time after somebody says yes. It's going to take some time to firm it up, and then they want to have approval of anything you're going to say, and then they want to have some pictures, and they want to know what your promotion plan is going to be and what the announcement is going to be. And oh man, it just seems like it isn't necessary to take so dang long, right?
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
But anyway, it's the reality of the situation. So no, I think we'll have 2 or 3 more yeses in the next week. I think this week we're promised to have that. But again, we aren't going to be able to say anything until we get it in black and white. Right?
That's right. Yeah.
So it's a process and it involves a lot of people. But if we don't work on it 24/7, 365, it doesn't happen at all.
Yeah, that's for sure. So what kind of, when we were out there, a lot of the talk was around the amphitheater area. You're going to be doing a lot of different work out there to improve it.
Oh, we have some changes coming in the amphitheater, and we're still working on what exactly they're going to be. We have a couple of new events that are going to happen in the amphitheater, it looks like. Again, the ink isn't dry. We have letters of intent. We have yeses, but we don't have what we need yet in order to actually
don't have it in black and white.
Talking about it, yeah. So, we just have to keep working and have faith, because if one of them doesn't work, we'll have another one.
Oh, yeah.
So that's just what we have to do, because we're a campground. We're here to have a party, and it doesn't require Elvis necessarily to have that party. We can substitute somebody else, right? Ray Charles.
Yeah. There you go. Who's that? And because it's like inviting Barry Manilow, right? And so next thing is I guess we'll talk a little bit about our area that we got set up for our subscribers that are going to be coming down there to Deep Lake. Tell everybody about that location.
Oh, I call that's a beautiful location. Is right there next to Deep Lake. It's a waterfront property, right?
Yeah.
So it's a treasure. So, nice powered water sites for RVs, bunch of tall cottonwoods right along the edge of the water. And just on the other side of the water is the gardens where we have the reception and bike shows. And, we're doing some other things there again this year that are going to surprise you when you get back. But we haven't quite got it all figured out yet, and it's too dang cold to do it right now.
Oh, I know. That's the tough thing about Sturgis. There's only such a short time, and somebody was saying something the other day about it. They said, "What, you should plant more trees out there?" I said, "Well, first of all, too many people run over the little ones." And I said, "Probably if you'd like to come out and do some work, he probably would hire you if you want to come out and spend a few months doing some hard labor." And he didn't respond after that. And, so we know that.
Somebody told me if the good Lord wanted trees out here, he'd let them grow. It's a prairie. But that said, we got quite a lot of trees actually.
Yeah.
The creek flows through here, so we have about 1.5 miles of the creek, and makes some pretty nice little deal because it's a wandering stream, Cottle Creek.
Yeah.
So we got several ponds. Pretty big stock pond that we've, I don't know, maybe it's a 2-3 acre pond, which is not like the Great Lakes or anything, but for out here, it's a nice sized body of water. So we got stuff to play with. And, the Bikini Beach thing right around there, all those old cottonwoods, giant trees that swing off of and jump into the water, that kind of stuff. So we have some pretty cool little stuff going. But out in the prairie, trees just don't grow here.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. That's why I tell people, I said that, and it's still grazing land, and there's still a lot of stuff going out there, and people just, I don't know. I guess when they get there, they think it's a regular campground. So when they're up there in the back 40, they think, well, yeah, this is a campground here. Well, they don't realize the rest of the year it's a big field. There could be cows out there. There could be anything out there. So yeah,
Pasture land.
Yeah, they don't see it in the other time.
Well, I was at the office today and just watching the deer walk by the office windows all day long, and the turkey and the quail. So it's a wildlife
refuge
right now.
Yeah, there you go. So I think this year you're going to have a lot more activities for the campground pass holders, either a daily or even the weekly passes. You're going to have a lot more stuff going on inside the campground.
Well, you stay tuned for the announcements, because I believe that's true. And very frankly, after January 1st, the artists, it takes them a while to get going again. Nothing happens and nobody goes back to work till about January 9th there. But for the other folks, the vendors, the people that are coming for the bike shows, whatnot, they start getting a little more serious about, okay, we got to firm up these plans, and starts coming together. So, we have some plans, but again, having the ink dry, that's a little different.
Oh yeah, I know that's tough, and you don't want to get out there. Is there anything else you want to add tonight that you want to tell us about the chip? Anything special that we should look for in 2023?
Well, we're excited to have you guys here, and excited to have you have your own area. I think that's going to be super cool. But yeah, we're making some nice changes for the VIP stuff. We're making some nice changes to the stage area, the stage front area around there in the amphitheater. And so I could talk about all that stuff forever, but when you get here and you get to see it, then you know that we actually got it done. So really what we're doing right now is trying to get all our plans together, get the materials together, and then plan to have the workers here on April 1st so we can hit the ground running and have it done in July, because we got our first event starting in July, and we have more Adventure Fest stuff going on this year. That's nice, because again, it's still motorcycle, but it's a little bit different motorcycle, and it's pretty fun just to get on something different when you don't have to be going 100 or 200 or 700 or 800 miles on the highway, right?
Yeah.
Get off and get through and ride around with those little deer in the middle of the woods. Kind of fun.
Oh yeah. Well, we were just looking at the website yesterday. She was looking at and couldn't believe this year all the mini bike stuff you've got going on. There's something every day going on.
It's fun, and everybody just wants to have a good time, and everybody uses different things in order to get it.
Yeah, so that looks like it's going to be pretty good. So, do we have any questions? Would you guys like to ask Rod any reasonable questions? Nothing stupid. We don't ever allow that. And if you want to ask, well, he'll hang around a few more minutes before we let him have his Sunday evening off. She's kind of looking. And so I know you never like to tell us numbers, but one of my questions I was thinking about is, I know last year you sold out for RV spots pretty quickly. And do you know if you're kind of on that same pace?
We are ahead of that pace, but I don't want people, but we also added more RV spaces, and we added more ground. So we got a lot of places we can put people, and when we hit the ground running with that April 1st, we already have some of that installed, and by the end of April, we'll have a lot more, or several more, quite a few. A lot is a different thing, right? So you put in 100 to some people, that's a lot, and other folks, it's a start, right?
Yeah.
And so, but we're putting in more RV spaces, so there'll be more. But I don't want to tell anybody they ought to just piddle around and wait, because we believe that they'll be gone, and that's the reason we're building more of them and having an electrician come out and redo some of the ones that we had before to make improvements.
Yeah, because we always tell people I always recommend everybody by January 1st, you should have already figured out where you're going to stay at. That's usually the thing I always recommend. That's how we've always booked in the past, was try to get everything wrapped up and figured out by January 1st. And I know a lot of our subscribers took advantage of that opening day. I think when we talked to the girls down front, their phones were ringing off the hook.
So I didn't catch all of that for whatever reason. So if it's blank, is anybody asking any questions?
Well, I'm not sure what this means. It says Everhead bands pay off rallies or events. So I mean, I guess that's saying if they can't show up, do they pay you back? Or I don't know exactly what they're asking there, but
I
didn't understand the question exactly.
Okay.
So
what we know, like when Michael Ballard used to have the TV show, he would buy insurance. So if something happened, like a storm or something happened, he got compensated for that. So this question, I think, was, let's say the Rolling Stones were going to come into play there, and not saying they are, but at the last minute they tell you, hey, we can't come. Do they pay you for that with a contract? That's what they're asking. Do you get some compensation from them?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. We just we scurry about to find a replacement. So we call up, the Who, and we say, damn it, we need you right here, right now.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep.
So
just as
that
soon
was
as last year that happened, huh?
It's only happened probably once in 42 years. So, but we're a rain or shine place. You've been here yourself, probably. It might storm, but who cares? We're having a party. The band plays on, right? Toby Keith played when lightning struck the stage. Kid Rock played when lightning struck the water tower and lit everybody up. And those are memories. I was at his place here a while back, and on the wall there in one of the guest rooms was the picture of the lightning striking the water tower and everybody there. And I thought, how cool is that, right? Because he was the artist that was playing that night.
Yeah, it was.
And so, yeah, it's sweet. So those are big memories.
Yeah.
So they had a question. Would you ever think of putting in a regular swimming pool?
I don't know why. Regular swimming pools are kind of boring and bring a bunch of other stuff. We're kind of country bumpkins out here, right? I'd much prefer to have the pond out here and take a little rope swing off the cottonwood and dip in. And so we compensate for that by putting wooden docks around the place. So as you know, we have 3 sides of that pond with docks on it. And then we hauled in, God knows how many truckloads of sand to build our own beaches around here. So it's Bikini Beach, and we love it.
Okay. That was a question. You got anything else?
How many people do you think you really have there at a rally?
Oh, who knows? I like it's all crazy what people know about say about the numbers. So, and some people don't like to be around crowds. So when the radio station said, well, there was 250,000 people at the Buffalo Chip last night, that guy says, oh my God, I'd never go there. And of course there weren't 250,000 people, but to somebody it looked like it, right?
Yeah.
And we just always have room for more. We got 920 acres here you can walk around on.
Do whatever you want, huh?
Which I see with the largest complex you have so many people that are camping there, and then you have people that are buying daily passes. So it's really hard to say at any one time how many actually is there.
Well, and 20 acres out here on the very front, it's kind of like our front porch, and it's free. So we have 100 vendors out here, and we have a bar, and we have bike shows, and we have music all going on out here, and it's just open to the public. So who knows how many people come and go.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I said it is tough to.
Once you get inside where the Rolling Stones are.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
Yeah.
The real party begins. Huh?
That's right.
That's for the campers, man.
Yeah. So Ray's Moto Life wanted to know, have you ever thought about retiring and just moving to the beach?
I think about it every time somebody asks me about it. I say, I don't think so.
You're living the dream, aren't you?
I'm enjoying life. And that's the truth. So, yeah, you got so many people out here and everybody becomes friends. It's a good time for everybody, including me. So really, that's a high point of our whole year. We spend the whole year preparing for this thing. And then when it happens, that's the easiest, nicest, most relaxed time that we have.
Yep. Somebody said
I guess somebody wanted to know if you'll bring Journey back. Well, they actually were there when Steven, oh, it was Aerosmith. When he was there in the third row when Steven Tyler fell off the stage. And he said, is there any chance of them guys coming back again?
Aerosmith's, it isn't public yet, but which means that they can still change their mind, of course, and they can change their mind afterwards. But they're going to go out on probably a stadium tour with Live Nation this year. So they'll be around this year. So Aerosmith fans will have one more shot at it.
Yeah, but they always have that final tour.
Yeah.
Well, how many final tours can you have?
Yeah.
As long as people keep showing up, it's not the last one.
That's right.
Yeah. I know in 2002, I went to Cher's final tour. His Gunfest book for 2023 yet.
The sound here I'm going to have to get better sound, I think.
She asked if you heard anything from Gunfest.
I don't have any Gunfest announcements for that. We've got some machine gun guys coming out with machine guns. Did I say that? We'll have
some events are being lined up.
Yeah, looks like we'll have some machine guns out here. If anybody wants to experience firing off a couple of thousand rounds in a minute.
Need to get one of those.
Opportunity.
Need to get one of those Gatling guns.
That's what he wants to shoot.
Yeah. Well, everybody has Gatling guns, don't they?
He doesn't.
Well, when they told me it was $150, or no, it was $300 to make one full round, and a half a round was $150. I said I wanted to spend it like a wild man. I ain't got that much money.
Well, you know what they said about give them the whole 9 yards. Where that came from?
Yeah.
Where?
You do know?
I don't know where.
In World War II. Okay, so you have your machine guns. You're basically a Gatling gun because it's just apparently not easy to improve upon a Gatling gun. And so the cartridge belts come and they're 27 feet long, right?
9 yards.
And so when you're a little angry at a suicide pilot that's coming in to crash at you and you want to blast him out of the sky, you give him the whole 9 yards.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, I don't know what the whole 9 yards would cost today.
Oh, I could only imagine.
Yeah, well, it won't be government issue.
Probably not. All righty.
I think that got us caught up on our questions. So we don't want to take your Sunday night too long. So we just want to thank you for coming on tonight. And
thanks for having us out there and getting us a section and letting us have some of our subscribers come out there and camp with us and have a party at your place.
Well, we're looking forward to it, All right. We'll look forward to seeing you again.
All righty. You take care. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So that was pretty special. Didn't take our earplugs out now.
Yeah. That hurts. It's starting.
I gotta get a drink.
Yep. So I'll answer a few more questions. They were asking about the garage, what you've gotten done so far. If you just tuned in, we've been sick all week. So he really hasn't worked on the garage at all in since last Saturday. So over a week, we haven't worked in the garage. He went over there for about an hour today. We went and got some stuff from Home Depot and took some stuff over there. So hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to jump back into the garage if got enough energy. Zook's Custom says it'll be the first time out there. The chip provides you with the best part anywhere. Yes, it does.
And that's one of the reasons we really wanted to do this with the Buffalo chip this year, because I had no idea. We've been going out there for 12 or 15 years, off and on
to Sturgis.
And we went out the Buffalo chip, but I went as far as the bar, and that's about as far as I ever went.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So when in 2021, we actually decided, let's stay there. Wow. We called Rod up and he said, yeah, you can film inside the campground and you can do this and you can do this. And we're like, wow, this guy's giving us a lot of, because typically if you sign the agreement and you're paying to stay at the campground, there's a lot of rules when it comes to if you were a YouTuber or taking video or anything. There was a lot of restrictions. And we do that anytime we go to an event, just like we were going to go to this David Mann's this weekend. I don't want to go all the way up there, and I find out they won't allow.
No cameras allowed.
They decide a lot, especially now, like in Las Vegas, you can't film anymore inside a lot of the casinos. YouTubers cannot film inside there. So they're getting very strict because a lot of people don't realize that when it comes to filming with YouTube, that's really your only variance you have is somebody that owns the property. They can tell you can't come in, you can't do this, you can't do that. And what you film out on the street is a whole different thing. You're filming out in public. But when you're in private property, even federal property can run into problems where we've been in different federal parks and it actually says no commercial advertising, no commercial video of any sort.
The funny thing is, because if you have America's Beautiful Pass, you're able to use that to get into federal properties, right? So we went to Mount Rushmore and it says, this is not a federal property. So you can't use your American Beautiful Pass to get in. But once you get inside, it says this is federal property. You cannot film. So what is it?
So there's a lot of things like that you have to be lenient on. So whenever I go to an event that we're paying to go to it, we make sure we have all that. Well, some of you that are YouTubers have asked us, how did you film at Kathmandu? How do you do this? How do you do that? Typically, my normal policy is I just do it and wait for somebody to say, can't do it. And I've only had one business down in Tampa that we went outside and talked bad about them. And because they were, what was stupid about it is the guy came up to us. All I did is I had a camera just trying to I was doing a fast reaction of all the people working at this bar. And it was a tiki bar. And I thought, this is a really neat place. Let's stop, have a few drinks. We'll film a little bit and we'll leave.
It was spring break. And
so the camera was laying on the table and this guy walks up and goes, what is that? And I'm like,
we walked in with the camera in our hand.
Yeah, and through the security guard and everything, and he just waved, and I'm like, whatever. And so he's looking at that. Also on the table, I have this, and he's like,
"What's in that case?
What's in that box? What's that?" I said, "It's a pair of freaking readers, dumbass. What do you think they look like? Really?" And he says, "What are you filming for?" I said, "Well, we have a YouTube channel, and we thought, we'd give you guys a shout out for having a pretty cool bar." "Well, we don't allow filming here." I said, "That's okay. We'll just go outside and tell everybody you don't allow filming."
Well, he said, "Well, you can do it. See that fence over there? You can go over on the other side of that fence and then film everything you want in here."
I'm like, screw that. So we went outside, and that's what we said. Well, I figured, it was during the pandemic. None of their staff was wearing masks, which we're not the mask police, and we're not filming stuff for the mask police. And so
it was spring break, and we don't know if there was a lot of underage.
Looked like underage kids there, but I mean, it wasn't anything neat. There was a guy that was coming in on a parasail. I filmed a little bit of that, and so we decided to just screw it. We went out in the parking lot and we just told everybody, I would blow out this place. If the place is that paranoid about what's going on, 99.9% of the people, when we walk in and say we're a YouTube channel and we're all about information, we're not here to give you bad name or anything like that. We want to just film it.
Show your place off. And
usually if we have bad service and stuff like that, we normally don't even show those videos because we just don't, it could be just a bad day that we had there. Now, if we're at a place like in Sturgis and we go and check something out and it's bad, we're going to tell you, hey, we didn't have a good service here and this is what happened to us, because you're all there. But if stopping at some bar or a place to eat isn't the end of the world.
Your cough drop. Did you drink your hot tea?
It's gone.
You sure you drank it?
Yeah. It was warm tea then.
I
So, are you keeping up with your comments?
Yeah.
Oh, who's on? Is Rod still there?
Oh, I don't know. Are you still on there, Rod?
You don't have to stay. You're already off. You're just watching what's going on,
I guess.
And
asking questions, maybe. I don't know.
And so Rod's in the background still. And I guess he just wants to see what's going on with the show. And but yeah, so that we normally don't badmouth stuff, typically. And we try not to do that. We got that big sponsor looking at us again. And we might know something in a couple of weeks, which would be kind of neat. Because we might get back to doing more rallies throughout the year. And so we'll see how that works out. And but yeah, I'm kind of the same thing like Rod said. Most stuff for Sturgis really doesn't start getting serious till after the first of the year. The city, we had talked to Indian Motorcycle, same thing. They're corporate, and the corporate doesn't do anything till after January 1st. So a lot of that happens. And so it is, once they get to that January 1st, they're like, we better start getting serious. All the, the Harley dealer and all that kind of stuff. We got to great video is going to come out next week on the rides that the Buffalo Chip has. They have a brand new ride we're going to talk about. That's kind of like if you're a history buff, might be something you want to go on.
A local historian's going to take you a few places.
Well, I don't want to tell too much. We're going to do a video on it.
Well,
and so it's kind of neat.
Video.
And yeah, the only thing we didn't ask Rod was how many people. It's a very small ride, and I don't know how many people's going to be on it. But typically they have the main ride. The Legends ride is the ride. That's the one that gets the most people come to it. And then after that's the Rusty Wallace, and we're going to be covering that this year. We never did that before. I'm going to cover that. And then they have the Bells ride, which is Tuesdays. They have the Bell ride, and we have to talk to Tony.
Tony
is Rod's daughter. She's in charge of the girls. And so we're going to get to hold of her this week. And you should have her phone number. When you talk to him, you have to call him next week.
And Chris too.
And get her phone number so we can talk to her and get her lowdown of stuff that might not be on the web. But that's one of the things, the ones right now, the Legends ride, some of you have already asked, the VIPs are already gone.
Yes, there's the Legends ride.
Yeah, so there's like 50 of them, and they told us they're all sold out of that. You can still do a regular ride. And I tell people, this would be an advantage if you're here. If you want to get close
to the
front, you just want to get there early. We got there 2 years ago is when we did the ride. 2021, we did the ride. And we by 8 o'clock. Now they don't start opening the registration until 9, but you park your bike on the next street over. And because you have to come in that back way, park over in the parking lot. And I parked right by the entrance. And I went inside. And at 9 o'clock came, we signed up. And
she gave us her sticker.
Gave us a sticker. We pulled right in, and we were probably, 3 rows back from the VIP people. And so we were in that first group. Because somebody was complaining the other day on Facebook that somebody was asking, do you recommend the Legends ride? And some guy wrote in there, I'll have to tell Rod who that guy was. And it's another YouTuber. Actually, the YouTuber's husband. And he wrote on there saying that, there's not much going on. And when I went on the ride, it was like we were doing 80 miles an hour and couldn't see nothing or anything like that. Well, apparently he's never been on a long ride with people. We've rode, which is what I do. I'm either in the front, close to the front, or I'm in the very, very back, because that's the way all rides go. Just like we were there. We had a guy that probably 15 people passed the guy because we were going down, what was it, Von Knocker Road? Yeah, I think it was going down Von Knocker Road, and the guy's doing like 40 miles an hour. And it's like the bikes are getting ahead of us. And so finally we start seeing bikes going around the guy, and look behind him. He's pretty far back after we passed him. So you're always going to have that because everybody's riding standard is different.
Skills.
So, but that's what I always recommend. I had a very enjoyable ride that year, and I liked doing the ride. We're not actually going to do the rides this year because I want to do the other thing. At the Legends ride, what makes the Legends ride so special is there's so much stuff going on. So much. Number one tip that we tell you right off the bat, where is the best breakfast in the world at?
Franklin Hotel. Oh my gosh. They got bacon that's this thick and it's just melts in your mouth.
French toast too.
Then they have, I think it's called Frosted Flakes French toast. Oh my gosh. You want a sugar high? There you go. It was good. And yeah,
so that's what we did. We ate because we were walking down because we got there at 8 and we're walking up and down Main Street and we're like, is there any place that has a breakfast? And they're like, oh no, Cowboy Bar open. Most of the places are open for dinner.
Yeah. And
so they said that, what is that? A Sally's is they'd be open like at 9 or 10 in the morning. And it's like, well, I don't wait that long. I'm hungry now. So then when we went in and registered, we seen that they had a restaurant. Well, we thought it was closed because they were going to have, I thought it was a breakfast that they have a Legends ride, but it's the luncheon they do.
You can have.
So we're like, okay, let me go park the bike. I'll come back in and we'll go down there and we'll see what they have. And table service. It was and it wasn't that expensive. It wasn't like $50. I don't know. We probably paid $20 or $30 for breakfast. And it was great. I had no complaints. I was very happy with it. The service, the gentleman that was our waiter, it was like being at one of those 5-course places where you got the little napkin on his arm and standing right by you. Anything? Kept your drinks full. It was really great. Yeah. So I highly recommend getting there early around 8, park in that first parking lot that's over by the old train station. And you park there because you have to bring your bike around that way. You have to come around the Legends that way. You can't go up Main Street because they'll have it blocked off right there. So you park there, you can get in the front. That way you're right there in front of, what's the hotel actually called?
Franklin Hotel.
Okay, Franklin. I always want to call it the Legends Hotel. It's the Franklin Hotel.
And that's what we always thought it was.
So that's it. But there's so much stuff going on. They've got all the girls from
the
Miss Buffalo Chip. They're all there.
The bikini team, international bikini team.
They're all there. You can take pictures with them. They usually have the poster girl that will be on the Buffalo Chip poster. She'll be there. They have, last year they brought in a lot of motorcycle racers that raced different bikes and stuff. They brought their bikes and they had them down there.
They had a couple of actors, Patrick Thomas or Thomas Patrick, I don't remember.
He was, what was it? He was
in the Terminator?
No, it was, what the heck TV show was he in? It was like Tarzan, but it wasn't Tarzan. Somebody don't
Hercules.
think Hercules.
That was
Hercules.
That was Kevin Sabo.
And
but no, the other guy that was there, he was in one of the Matrix movies. I don't know.
So there is stars there. Also, the governor was there. It's great to meet Kristi Noem. We've met her a couple times now. We actually got her on camera this year.
Yep.
And hopefully next year, she should still be there. We should get her on because you never know who might be president next year. We're going to do the same thing with DeSantis down there. When we go down to Florida, we're going to get a few minutes of his interview time too. So if they become presidents, we can say, hey, they were on our channel. Never had that happen before. I never really got to actually talk to anybody that ever turned into a president. It was one of my bucket list things. So maybe if I get to talk to those two again, maybe one of those will be an election next time and maybe they'll win and I can say, hey, I met the president. So kind of neat. So that's a whole nother thing to talk about.
Anyway, that's why they call it the Legends Rides, because I think they had a football player there.
Well, they were supposed to have last year was Horny Mike was supposed to come. And they found out Horny Mike from County and Customs doesn't have a motorcycle license. So he doesn't bring a motorcycle. He brings that big old fancy thing that he made, but he ain't riding that anywhere. So Indian was going to give him a bike to ride. So when he went down there to pick it up, they said, well, we need your driver's license. He handed it to him. And he's like, you don't have an endorsement on it. He says, no, I don't have one. I know how to ride a bike. He said, well, we can't rent you a bike because insurance won't cover you if you ain't got a license. So we talked to Horny Mike and he's like, and they're all like, he never told nobody. Well, you wouldn't think going to a motorcycle rally, you would have to ask anybody, do you really have a motorcycle license? Well, there's probably people there that don't, but even her, she's got her motorcycle license, but she would have never gone and rode a bike without having a license. You just know that's the thing they're going to ask you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep.
So in the garage, I did get today, I got all the boxes nailed to the wall to put the boxes in. And then
the electrical outlet. Yeah.
The plastic box. Got all those mounted up. I got a couple more to put up top. I got a thing for a ceiling fan. I haven't decided where I'm going to put it at. Because I don't want it in the way of working. And then I'm kind of thinking where I'm going to put my TV at. Because I think after watching a few videos, to put the TV in the video, you got to kind of put it at an angle. I've seen the Monkey Man had done that all along, but then I've been watching these guys that actually show you how to do videos and their cameras. Because what happened with us is we had the TV right behind us, and every time it changed, the camera got messed up.
Light dark, and it was.
So I'm like, that ain't working for us. So I looked into it, and I think that will solve the problem. So
we turn it.
I just got to figure out how in the studio how I'm going to film stuff.
To figure out where you're going to put a table and a desk and all that. And we might have like a.
We have a counter.
News desk for information. We might be wrapping this up soon because once it starts, it's like.
So that's kind of what's going on now. What plans for this week is hopefully I'm going to get a lot of things done. I'm hoping by tomorrow I'll feel a lot better too, but it's getting colder here. So that's not real good because
you don't want to go out half sick and then get.
Last week we had some pretty decent weather. It hit 70s a couple times and it wasn't too bad. We didn't have a lot of totally sunny days here, but it would have been nice. I went and closed the last roof. We got the roof vents on the roof. One of my closed, the other one was on top of the trailer. I had to climb on the trailer to get to the handle. So I closed that off. I'm gonna have to go get batteries. I think I'm just gonna go, if I'm not feeling good tomorrow, I'm gonna go down and get batteries. Just go in town and probably buy that stupid battery guy down here, go to Walmart.
Oh, the batteries.
Yeah, after I look at them, I thought I had AGM batteries in there, and they're acid batteries. Probably burned all the acid out of them. And they're over 3 years old, so I'm not going to throw acid back in them.
Oh, they're not the AGM ones?
They got tops that cop off when I looked at them today.
Well, you never even checked those, have you?
No. The last 3 years, I'm happy with that. The stupid batteries, you get 6 volt, 100 amp batteries. They're like $200-300 a piece. I need 2. So I'm going to look at that maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll do that in the morning. But I got to get the old ones out because that's the only way they give you an exchange. And because I was planning on doing them in Vegas, and I thought, if you have problems with it, I'd rather have something around here. So I'm going to look at Sam's and Walmart, and then go to we have the battery store here.
Well, I do that because if we're ever out and about, there's all those battery stores everywhere.
So we'll see what happens. But we had trouble with the battery guy before here.
Yeah.
So
he replaced one, and the second one, it was, I don't know, he wouldn't.
Yeah. So I wasn't real happy with that. So that's a whole nother story. So things are going along. So hopefully, I don't know. My goal was originally to have it all drywalled and everything painted and everything by the time we left for Daytona. And now I'm worried I may not. Because we got a lot of things going on. What's going on for us is in about 2 weeks, we're heading back to California for 3 or 4 days to visit the kids. We're also, after that, we have a timeshare that we were actually in Las Vegas during the pandemic when they closed Las Vegas down. Who got thrown out?
We did.
So we were there all the way to the bitter end.
2008 is the answer to that question.
What?
What year did John McCain speak at the Buffalo Chip?
She just looked it up.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of neat. And there's a lot of neat stuff. And like I say, we've been talking to Rod, and he kind of slipped a couple things.
Gnome 2024.
He kind of, I don't think he's like me. When I was a union president, people kept saying, you need to get into politics. You got to get into politics. My problem is I can't kiss people's ass. And to get things done in Congress, you've got to bend over. And that's why there's so much pork spending in all these bills. Take a time. If you really want to know what's going on in government, take anything. You could have took the Obama plan. You could take the new budget plan they're coming out for the military. These things are like 5,000 pages. Look through those. You'd be surprised how much stupid stuff. Just like in one of them years ago was the Mob Museum that's in Las Vegas. It was like $8 billion. It was some crazy number that senator in Nevada wanted to build this Mob Museum. It's like, who the freak, and it's a big old fancy building. It's right down by Fremont Street. You probably don't even know where it's at. It's where we parked in the parking lot before. But I mean, it's never there's never. I don't see anybody ever going to it.
I'd like to go through it.
But I mean, for $8 billion.
And I think it still costs to get in. It's not free. I think it still costs like $25 to go through it.
So who made all that money? But once again, why did I need to be a taxpayer at that time? I think we were in California. Why do I need to be a taxpayer to pay for some crap that Nevada wants? I'm okay with helping them with federal funds to fix the highway or whatever they need like that, because I might be coming across. Once again, the Mob Museum, it's been there, I don't know, 10 or 15, 20 years. I have to look it up and see what it is. But there's all that crap in there. Like,
says, now that you're a reverend, can't you just heal yourself from the flu?
That's God's power. I don't have God's power.
And we're going to get to Sturgis. July 19th is my estimated date of arrival to Sturgis.
And if all goes well, Woody will have us out in the parking lot out there. And staying next to the COO, he camps out in the parking lot and until the rally starts. And so that'll all be going on. Oh, I forgot to say something about a flagpole. Oh. And we're thinking about getting a flagpole put up down there by us. And we could get us a Bob and Tam flag and hoist it up the pole so everybody knows where we're at. Everybody likes the pole up straight. Ain't no good if your pole ain't straight. We don't want the bent one like a carrot. You ever seen that commercial about carrots? Our son-in-laws were, our grandsons were watching that, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I don't want to look at that." I don't.
They're like, "Mama, that's disgusting. How can they put that on there?"
I don't know. Just some crazy stuff.
It is.
It's on TV.
No more taxes or handouts. Working man is done. I know, it's crazy. I've been fighting the flu for 4 weeks. Oh my gosh, Bill. That's Bill from Washington. Do you have a confession booth, Reverend Bob?
Yeah, we will.
They wanted to know.
I'm looking to get a special outfit that that's what I thought when we went to California, which maybe I'll do it when we're there over Christmas. Go up to Hollywood, up to some of the special stores up there. Get me a special jacket I want. Get me a special hat. Because it might be popular if you want me to do it.
They said they should have a mass wedding on Saturday.
Which we might. We might do something like that.
Renew your vows. I don't know.
Yeah. So we might do something like that. Rod is open arms to us and said, which he would like to do something. Maybe if we get enough people interested in doing weddings out there, maybe he can beat old Michael Ballard putting up a little chapel there.
Yeah.
Michael Ballard's got a freaking steeple there, but he ain't got nothing else.
He didn't build the little church underneath.
No, it wouldn't take that hard. You don't need a freaking steeple like that. But I mean, you could take a nice, you could take something and make
Get
a nice.
one of those little cabins and put a steeple on top.
Well, you could
He's
do
got that building out in front. It's all stained glass and it's got a big cross on it.
Yeah, but that's a shop. I don't know. For a while, it used to be a garage, I think. And
I don't
then
know. I thought there was a church out there. I asked him about that and he's like, where? I said, that building out front that's got stained glass all over it and a big cross in it. And he said, no. Call mandate indoor mask again. I don't know. They said that. Somebody said, oh, I guess it was my aunt that told me, called her for her birthday, and she said she'd heard, she was in Illinois, that California was mandating masks again inside your house. You had to wear a mask.
it's like Mexico. We went through New Mexico, I don't know, 3 years ago. Had a freaking sign on the billboard. It said, $100 fine if we catch you driving your car without your mask on.
Even if you're in the car by yourself.
My question always is, let's say we're a couple, okay? And I wear a mask all the time, and she doesn't. How's that work? I really want to go up, and I'm going to do it sooner or later. Because there's still people that are doing it. Because it's like, okay.
In the grocery store.
So when we get home, the odds are I'm probably going to take my mask off, and then I'm with her. Now, didn't she already breathe all the freaking germs that this mask was supposed to keep out? Why is it? I don't know. I can't figure that out.
Here we go.
But I see that all the time. It's not as bad as it was because we don't see as many gunslinger mask carriers anymore as we did before. And I can understand if you're an old, which I do. Sometimes today we've seen it. It was an older couple that was at In-N-Out and they had their mask on. And I'm okay with that because they could be older. They could have something going on
or if they're not feeling good.
And they're scared. And, they're still Fauci or Fucci or whatever his name is. He's still here for a few more weeks. He's telling everybody, keep wearing that mask, even though it doesn't help. Go buy the N95. That works. Mm-hmm. Other than that, the rest of it is just making you feel better.
There we go. That's what I need tonight. Whiskey, honey, and lemon.
You go.
Because he hasn't been sleeping. He needs to.
I did last night. I didn't get up till 4:30 this morning. Slept all night.
How about that? First time in 3 or 4 nights?
Yeah.
Mass wedding at the Chip with Reverend Bob.
Yeah.
You guys gonna wear magic underwear like the Mormons?
No.
No, they wore magic underwear. No mask, not again. I know.
Which is what's nice about being in Arizona. South Dakota's like that too. South Dakota was like that. She passed it.
Home.
She passed it and said, she left it up to each city to decide what they wanted to do. And it's just like businesses. If a business wants to tell you have to wear masks to come in there, that's your choice. If you don't want to do it, then don't go into that business. And that's how you do it. It's just like people that were selling $40 hot dogs in Sturgis, and we've talked to Rod and a lot of the other people. If you don't like it, don't buy it. And if everybody in Sturgis went to that guy for that $25 hot dog and just said, F you, dude, we're not buying your hot dog, and turn around and walk across the street and buy something from somebody across the street.
Go down to Louise or go down to the Vets Club.
But it's like, but no, you'll pull the $25 out and pay the guy. So at the end of the year, at the end of the rally, they're like, hey, I did pretty good on those $25 hot dogs. Last year I sold them for $10 and I sold 1,000 of them. This year I sold 500 and I still made more money than I made last year. You're just making them look better and you're just $25 out. And so it's like us. We even ate, which we're not big McDonald's people, but I mean, when we're in Sturgis there, I probably ate there at least 10 times during the 2 while we were
I
there
got
for
my little app, get a free large fry. He gets 2 burgers and I'll get chicken nuggets or we'll get a fish sandwich. And
it's food. It's just something to fill you up and get you going. And it's
under
cheap.
$10.
Yeah. And so it's
dollar
like
drinks.
Yeah. So it's like, there is still places that you can be cheap. And well, you say, well, we're not around McDonald's. You're on a freaking motorcycle, dude. You can ride any freaking where you want. Before you go out to full throttle, they were high. And because you're kind of stuck. You go all the way out to full throttle and it's lunchtime and you forgot to eat. You are kind of screwed. You're stuck with whatever they got out there. But you could have always just said, screw it, let's just go back into town, get something to eat, and screw full throttle. And same thing, if people wouldn't go out there, they wouldn't charge all that. Used to be full throttle had all the different vendors out there, like what the heck's the guy? Fajita Mike, which we've had him on our channel a whole lot of times. He's down there from Florida, and he can't come back anymore because they have one person now that takes care of all the food. So they got a monopoly.
Whatever they want.
So you don't have a big choice anymore. And the people are really nice people that have it. And like I say, I don't know what Michael Ballard charges them. They have to jack it up. But I mean, it's just like at the Buffalo Chip. He has specials on at Woody's Bar down in the campground. What is it, $1 drinks?
$1
beers?
beer and $1 hot dogs.
Yep. So there you go. And it's just during the day. They don't have during rally or during the concert time, but during the day. Yep. And if you're down there, hey, grab a couple hot dogs, grab you a couple beers, have that. And then go out and head over to wherever else you want to go party if you don't want to hang out there at the Full Throttle or the Buffalo Chip. So there's ways that, and that's the things that we're going to give you guys when we get there. We're going to start giving you that information. We're going to be probably doing a live during the rally every day. We're going to have some great special guests that are going to be down there for you guys to, those that don't show up at the rally, can't make it next year, and you want to know what's going on, we're going to show you some stuff and get some interviews from people that you will love to hear from. So that's going to be pretty neat. We already got a lot of that already starting the works to get it all done. We're not going to announce who they are until rally time, because it's the same thing. A lot of times I talk about stuff. We have other YouTubers out here and they try to do what we do. And so the advantage that we have that nobody else has is we just have a great relationship with these people that own these places. You know, just like the Iron Horse and all these different places, the Beaver Bar, all these people just love us. And we love them too. They're all great people. They open their doors to us. They give us permission to do pretty much whatever I want to do. And they never give us a hard time. And because they know there's nothing wrong with good publicity. And there is a lot of other YouTubers out here that are trying to make a view. And not everything we do is a view.
Somebody else said that. There's free lunch at the Sturgis Senior Center. We went there because we went there way before Sturgis opened, and they had pie, soup and pie. And I said, oh, there you go. That's what I want. So, because I love soup. When we get there, I don't remember what the soup was. Wasn't the greatest, I don't think. But anyway, and you get a sandwich,
like $10,
soup, and yeah, but it still costs. And he's like this, or maybe it's the same person. I don't know. Ralph said that they get free lunch at the Senior Center
because they told now 2 years ago is when we went there and we had to pay for lunch. It was before it. And they told us during the rally they closed it down.
You knew who had free? It wasn't really free food. They had cookies, iced tea, coffee, lemonade. Was in Hewlett.
Yeah, at the community center there.
Yeah, on the main street, I guess.
Yeah, just down a little farther. Right before you went into
homemade hot cookies coming out of the oven. It was good.
And it was free.
And it's air conditioned in there, and they had real toilets.
Yeah. So we stumbled over that last year. We won't be going out to Hewlett this year. We might go before the rally, but we won't. During the rally, we're going to be on the Buffalo Chip the whole time.
Good tacos at Full Throttle for $4. Okay, didn't know that.
What?
Daryl S says they got good tacos. Oh, that's Michael Ballard's truck.
Yeah, so that's Michael Ballard runs the taco truck. That's the only thing that's exception to the rule.
That's what my daughter just said. It's only in LA that they're wearing more masks in LA. Mindy was
Welcome
on.
to LA.
Mindy just said that it was.
Mindy's our daughter.
Yeah.
Youngest one.
I'd like to see an interview with Michelle. She said that would work on the Miss Buffalo Chip. We're going to try to get a review. I don't know who Michelle is. She's the one that works with Miss Buffalo Chip. Okay.
It's probably hard to know. That's probably the girl that's in charge of
Greg, but I thought it was always Greg that always got them.
No, but remember the girl that's in charge of the team?
I guess.
You talked to her.
Yeah.
That might be her name.
And leave a reasonable donation, right? Yes. Somebody, I guess that Ralph asked where he gets into his 10% tithes to the church.
We have an address. What is our address? It's 22.
I don't know.
You don't know the Sturgis address?
206. I don't know. Fort Meade Way, 4A, Sturgis, South Dakota.
It's the Buffalo Chips address lot. What's our lot number?
A4, A04.
There you go. That's where you can send any mailing.
Any money you want.
To the Buffalo Chip. Make sure you put our name on it so Rod don't get it. And so, yes, that's another thing that the Buffalo Chip offers. If you're a full-timer or like in our state, people want to know how we have dual residency. And in our state, we are a snowbird state here in Arizona. So the stipulation here is as long as you're out of your home 6 months of the year, you can have an address anywhere else they want. They could care less because 75%, well, more than that, about 80% of our state are retired people anyway. We've seen 10 cars a day from Alaska down here.
I know.
And so we have a lot of Canadians that we know that hang out down here. So there's we get a lot of Washington State, Oregon, a lot
of the West Coast people
come down here, South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming. They're here every
Iowa.
year. So,
Idaho.
and they leave. A lot of them own homes because it's a lot cheaper to, well, it was, not so much now,
Yeah.
but it was cheaper to buy the home than it would be come down here. Because we got a friend that rents his home out to the same people. He's been doing it for 10 years. They pay like $3,000 a month to rent that house.
For his whole...
And that's what he says after the time. Did you let the dog back in?
No.
No,
I just turned the light on
Turn
for
the light
him.
off. Turn the light off for poor Charlie.
No, I
outside.
said turn the light on. It's been out off that whole time. He's probably sitting there waiting. No, I don't see him.
No.
Oh, there he is. He's there. He's at the door.
He's seen the light come on.
He says,
Somebody's home.
I can come home. I can come in.
It's like Motel 6. We'll leave the light on.
I
Just won't answer the door. And so, yeah. So what they do at the Buffalo Chip is, so in our state, less than 6 months. So last year we were on the road. Well, last couple of years, we've been on the road about 8 months of the year. This year I guess we'll be here about 3 or 4 months this year. And, but like I say, once February starts, we're gone again. February, March,
April, we should be back May.
Should be coming back in May. We'll be here sometime in May to June. In June, we're probably heading out again because we're going to be
End of June, beginning of July.
We'll be going up to Milwaukee for the rally up there. Then we'll swing back through and we'll be in. So we'll be
a lot cheaper, taxes and everything.
Oh yeah, you only there is no state tax.
Call us and we'll tell you. We're going to get a Kiwi and Val. We'll get them on. They just did it, and they live in California.
Yeah, what they did is they bought a lot in Sturgis, and they're going to be building a house soon, but they have no place to put a mailbox. There's a lot of other places up there. We started out with America's Mailbox. They were very nice, very friendly people, but every time you turned around, they wanted to charge you money for this and that and this and that. They were rude. They were obnoxious. She was about ready to beat them over with the head. Then when you did cancel them, they charged you another 6 months of fees. And
because that's in the contract. You have to cancel 6 months ahead of time.
They give you like a 20-page contract. Well, what you do at the Buffalo Chip is you actually get a lease to a lot in the Sturgis Chip.
Yeah.
And the only stipulation is you can't do it the 3 weeks of during the rally. The rest of the time, you can come out there, call ahead. You get to stay on the property for free. Not guaranteeing you're going to have electric and water because right now they probably blew all the water lines out because they don't want it to freeze. So, but you know what I mean? I wouldn't go out there in the winter time. But you call out there and say, hey, I'm coming out. I need to spend a week or so out there. And they'll set you up and say, yep, come on out. If nothing else, so if it's muddy or something, they'll put you out in the parking lot there. And you can just park out there and you can boondock, use your generator or whatever you got. And that's kind of what we do. We're going to be getting there on July 19th. And we won't have to pay for those first until the rally gets there. We're not being charged for anything. You get, because we paid for the lease.
Yeah.
And so it's
so
a neat
you get
thing.
Like 50 weeks out of the year that you don't have.
And I thought it was kind of funny at first, but then when we started, see the difference between us and all of you is we spend about 45 to 50 days in Sturgis every year these last 3 years. We end up talking to a lot of people, and it ends up being we talk to a lot of local people. And that's where we learn, which we take. It is truly God's country. And if you meet the people that actually live there, their life, and they're just a whole different breed of people. It's just, I've never seen anything. What?
He says that Ralph says he's got a P.O. box at the UPS store in Spearfish, or I guess the United States Postal Service. And he's considered a resident of South Dakota, and he only has to visit every 7 years.
No. Well, I was always told it was 5 years.
That's what we were told.
When we got our license. Now, what you got to watch now, which we found out, that's one of the reasons we ended up going to the Buffalo Chip too. If you want to get a concealed carry card or buy a gun in the state of South Dakota, you can't buy one with a P.O. box number. What that'll do is you can buy the gun, and when it goes to the gun shop for you to pick it up, it red flags it. FBI will flag it and say that you don't have a permanent address. And we found that from the gun shop. That's how we found out the Buffalo Chip did this. That's how we met Rod to start with. Is she called ahead and said, hey, I got these guys that are interested in getting a domicile someplace. Can you talk to them? And so we set an appointment up, and that's how we met Rod to start with. And so then after that, then I started talking. Well, if you watch some of these other people watch other YouTubers that travel around the world, there's also another guy that's called Nomadic Fanatic. He ran into the problem with his credit cards. So some of you don't have any address at all. You don't have any residency.
Full-time RVers.
Yeah.
Because that's what we started out doing. Yeah.
And so it's like, hey, we got to have some place to send our mail, our credit cards and all that. Well, some people will go ahead and have,
less than 400
you know, their daughter
a year.
address or their son's address. Well, that's fine if you've got that and that works for you, but not everybody's got kids or somebody you could trust is going to keep your mail.
Yeah.
And so it's nice. So that's how we did the buffalo chip. For less than, if he hasn't raised the price yet, which he hasn't told me he did, less than $400 a year, you can get this lease. And what he's after is he would like to turn, if he can get enough people, that's why he's looking for full-time RVers, people that are actually using it as a domicile, which is like we do. We file our taxes now in South Dakota because that is our mailing address. That's where we have our driver's license at, our insurance and stuff. All that is here, there. This house is a summer house or a winter house, whatever you want to call it. It's the off-season house. So the garage is going to end up probably being a commercial property because I can't get any insurance on a building. It's on a property by itself. So we're probably going to insure that as a business, just so something happens to it, I got it covered. So
there's 2 big garages out here that got their
doors
blew off during that last big storm.
They had like 18-foot doors.
And they still don't have doors on their garages. So we don't know if that's what happened. They don't really have, but I mean, one's got a house attached to it. So I don't know why he doesn't have any. But anyway, we just thought the other one that's just a garage on a lot by itself, maybe he didn't have any insurance either. They'll insure the building, but not any of the contents, unless it's a commercial property, unless you live there.
And I wasn't going to go through all that. So we've already been talking to a couple commercial places, and I think I'm going to insure it as a commercial building. Pays a little bit more, but I can be safe when we're not here.
Yes.
And it's going to have alarm in it and cameras, and just like the house does. I don't really worry about anything that goes on here unless the house burns down. But other than that,
he told us a story about a 70-year-old guy, and they ended up putting him in jail because that's what he said. Because they asked him,
that's what happened to him.
Is this your address? Do you live here? Is this your residency? I guess is what they asked.
Yeah, is this your residency? And he signed the form. This is my residency. Well, then it goes to the feds, and the feds went to the gun shop and said, "Hey, what's with this guy? This isn't a real address. This is a PO box. This actually was at mailboxes, America's Mailboxes where he was at." And he said that was my residency. And bad news with that guy was he did get out of jail, but he's now a federal. He's got a felony on his record. He's like 75 years old, so it's not the end of the world. He did have a fine he had to pay, but what he did was, did you realize you didn't live there? And he said, yes, I did know I didn't live there. So he admitted he forged the document where but they also said they had somebody else that did that, and they came to pick the gun up. And as soon as they went, typed in the information, it came up and said, sorry, he can't have the gun. And so they had to
because any of those mailboxes address, even though it's got their address, and you can put down as a suite, an apartment number, anything you want, you can put down what your number is. But that address is flagged. So as soon as that address is typed in, it comes up and it flags you.
Well, they look at it and see that, okay, here's a commercial building that has 10,000 people that have the same mailbox. They all got a different number, but how are they all living in a building? So it makes it a little more
suspicious.
Yes. And so this is what we came up with, and it's a great thing. I don't know, we'll probably but the difference is that their sales tax is around 5%. So if you're going to buy a new motor home or a new motorcycle, anything like that, it's taxed through there. The license, get your driver's license, is an easy process to go in and get that done, but you got to go to DMV for that. License plates, you got to go to City Hall to get, which is the weirdest thing I thought. But you get all that right there. Everybody's really friendly. It's not like dealing with California. And it was no real lines. Oh, yeah. And the DMV was really nice about how we didn't do nothing. We just had to surrender our driver's license and no eye test, no written test, no nothing. You want to keep your motorcycle license? Yep. Okay, you'll get your driver's license in about a week, and they mail it to the buffalo chip. And so she called us and said, "You got your license in? Come get them."
I think they handed them to us.
I think they mailed them to us. And the license plates, they said it take about 4 weeks to get the plates, but we got them in like 2. And
less than that, I think within a week.
Yeah,
we went there like on a Friday, and I think we had them by that next Thursday.
And they print the titles out right there. They did that.
Yeah.
When we did the titles, they printed them out right there. And that was kind of nice. I don't know if they're still doing that or not. A lot of places quit doing that. And so it was kind of neat. And so, yeah, it was pretty painless. And if your first time you go, which we can explain, I did a video. We've done 2 videos already on that. But first time you go, you get your address. That's what you have to do. First, you got to send a letter to like the buffalo chip with your name on it. And or like what we did, which somebody had told us to do, is right there at Black Hills Credit Union. We opened a credit union, put in $25 into it, which is a little more than that in there now, but put some money in the bank. And we said, we gave them that address and said, I want to be paperless. So what you do then is you just print out your first bank statement and you take that with it. And so it had both our names on it. So we both made 2 copies of it. She had that and I had that. We made a copy of our lease agreement because you have to show that you've at least
2 forms of identification of where your residence is at.
And your driver's license. You don't have to bring a passport. You don't have to bring any other identification, no security guard, none of that crap. They don't need anything else. And then you bring that to them. They look at it, get your 2 forms with the address, good to go. And there you are. And then when we came back to Arizona, instead of getting driver's license again, we went ahead and got our photo IDs. Yeah. So we have IDs to show that we're local here too, but our driver's license are all out of South Dakota. Then my truck, my motorcycle, and the trailer, which are the most expensive things, are all titled through South Dakota.
Yeah.
And so we had to transfer. So that's what we did. We had our license plates to get my motorcycle plates, or to get my, I don't remember what the price was now, to get my title.
The truck, the 2018 truck and the 2018 RV, our trailer, it was supposed to be, to get them here was $1,500 a piece, so it was $3,000. So we went up there, transferred everything, got the plates, had the title changed, and we saved,
I think it was like
$2,000.
So it was about
only
$300. No, it was like $300.
Oh.
And but the motorcycle, I had to go transfer the title on that, plates and everything. And I think, if I remember right, it was $27.
And for here, it was going to cost $400 here in Arizona to
get the plates.
To get the new.
Because what they go by is a year. Every year it gets lowers. First year I paid like $900 for it. Next year it was $750, and it's about as high as California is. But I know there's other states that are cheap too. But that's some of the nice advantages of.
There's no state tax when you do
your income tax. Yeah. There's no state.
$58. It was $300 in California. Yeah, it's a big difference. It saves a lot of money.
And so you just have to see, like California, for instance, is very funny because if they catch you, I think it's 10 or 15 days driving a car and you find out you've got a place living in, they can fine you already that quick. Where most states it's 30 days if they catch you. California, they pay people now, your neighbors, to turn you in, and they do in California.
What happened? Our daughter got rear-ended. I was driving and somebody rear-ended us. And I don't know why she gave them her license and everything, because I guess they wanted to know whose car it was. So he took her license because it was her car. He was writing up a report and wrote all this down. And after he wrote everything, he says, "Is this your correct address?" And she's like, "Oh no, we moved." And he's like, "When?" And she said, "I don't know. It was like last month." And he gave her a ticket for not changing her driver's license address.
They at least done it on the computer.
And somebody else rear-ended her, and it was a hit and run. And she's the one that got the ticket because it made the cop mad because he had just written down all the information. He should have asked first, but we didn't realize she only had 10 days.
Should have just said yes.
Well, when they sent her the information, it wouldn't have been there. So
yeah,
there's not really any law. Bullhead is having one, and you know, one of the people that's coming here, they're going to have Billy Idol.
Not here. That's an Arizona bike.
I said in Arizona.
Somebody asked. You had just said Bullhead, and then you said, "Guess who's coming here to Arizona?" And you said Billy Idol. Well, Billy Idol's not coming to Bullhead. He's coming to Arizona Bike Week.
Well, you need to read the question.
I know, I've seen it all.
Okay.
But you need to just be distinguished with what you said.
Yeah. So yes, there really aren't any more rallies left.
Well, Reno has theirs.
Yeah, but they said they're not doing anything downtown Reno anymore.
Right, but there's still a Reno. There's still, the dealerships have their events going on still, and that's about all. Really isn't anything going on at Reno, bike vibrations or whatever it is. There ain't nothing going on there anyway. You go up to what's the town? Virginia City. That's really about the only time everybody sits around. Girls are flashing, riding bikes around. That's really about the only time anything's going on anyway. And there is some decent riding up there. Not great riding, but the first time
around. Like Tahoe, that's
the first time, and actually the other side was a lot better to ride on than this side was. So it was kind of neat.
Raining. Poor doggy probably wants in.
He's under a roof.
I know. Bullhead River Run is the 26th to the 29th. Yeah, did you see that, Mike? Billy Idol's coming. I thought that was pretty cool.
See, you're still talking about Bullhead, and you're telling Billy Idol. So that can.
Billy Idol is coming to Bullhead.
No, he's not.
Yes.
He's got. He's got Count's Custom coming, and he's got Slider or whoever it is the two opening acts he's got. Billy Idol is coming to Arizona Bike Week. Billy Idol at Arizona Bike Week 2023. Billy Idol, Scottsdale, Trailer Corral tickets.
Because I told you that I said, how did Larry get him? And you're like, I have no idea how he got him.
I'm just telling you, I wasn't listening to what you said then. I know. I thought
See,
you were talking. I
I
was talking about even Arizona. I can't really believe Arizona would bring Billy Idol in.
And she walks through the process. Oh, to get your domicile. The communist state of Illinois still has got much worse since you guys left.
Oh yeah,
I know.
My brother-in-law and my brother still live there.
And
my brother
all
don't
my
complain.
cousins
My
and
brother
my
don't
aunts.
complain too much. My brother-in-law, well, it's the taxes that are killing you there. He's retired, been retired for quite a while, and that's what he says. I don't know how many more years we can afford living on Social Security, Lord, to be able to pay the state tax every year on the property tax.
I could have swore it said bullhead.
No, I'm just showing you.
I know. Well, then when I asked you,
That's why I just emphasized a while ago. It's not in Bullhead. It's at the Arizona Bike Week.
When I looked at it, I said, "How did Larry get Billy Idol?"
Maybe I thought the guy in Arizona Bike Week is Larry. I don't know what the couple's name is. What's their name?
I don't remember.
It's Larry.
It is not. Now he's making up stuff. Hollister was the last.
Larry
we
and
went.
Cindy.
I know. We went there once, and no more.
Well, Hollister, there is stuff going on. There's a field there that I think they have some events and stuff at. It's another one of them towns, which we see it all. Myrtle Beach is doing that. Daytona's doing that. They want to get rid of motorcycles at the rallies. Pouring down rain. We haven't had rain in a long time. Watering down my muddy lot.
Smells like rain.
Which we don't see very much.
No.
So that's what's happened to most of these rallies, just like Laughlin. That's what happened over there. The police just charged so much. Police were charging 5-6 years ago over $300,000 because you had to hire the police out of Las Vegas to come down and work. And they just chased everybody off. Same thing that's happened in Myrtle Beach. Same thing that's happened in Daytona. That's why I said Sturgis is really, really one of the last bike rallies that actually, that's one of the things I love about it.
Bikers.
Yeah. Every town around there opens their doors and says, come on in. It's not like New Hampshire going to Laconia and everybody locks their doors when we come.
Oh, I think I already did that one. It says more comments, but it won't let me go down any further. Oh, well, I don't know. I just did that and it didn't do nothing. I don't
know. Not what to tell you.
Well, okay, we did that. Yep. That one, Illinois, yep. Well, see, I don't know. That's where I was at. Patsy wants to go see Billy Idol. Don't fight.
Billy Idol is that is going, well, actually, Speeds is coming out is it Speeds? What did I see the other day that's coming out here for Arizona Bike Week? It might be Speeds. That's going to turn around and come out after Daytona. And the only way we would do it would be to fly back. And I don't know. I might consider something like that, but I mean, we don't have a motorcycle. I've only got the one. So it's not like we'd have another motorcycle to take up there.
Yeah.
I don't know how close our dealer is to that. How close is our dealer to Arizona?
It's in Tortilla Flats. It's in
Apache
Junction from Scottsdale.
Yeah. We get them to give me a used bike to ride. Maybe we fly back because really the only thing that's going on. I'm not interested in seeing the concerts, but to go out to Cave Creek, that's where all the fun's going on. But it's such a small area, small parking lots, not much can get in there. And
distance between Scottsdale, Arizona, and Apache Junction, Arizona. 35 miles.
Oh, that's not too bad. We'll see if they'll give us a bike to use.
That's where we went out with Art, and we went to that ghost town and rode that train and all that stuff.
It's the same.
Oh, what did that say? Watch out, Bobby will be sleeping on the sofa tonight. We love bikers up here in South Dakota. That's right, Myron. He's Harry the Farmer's son.
Yep. I think you're caught up.
Yep.
All right. So that's a lot of things going on this week. Had a lot of things planned. Things just didn't go the way we all had it planned. So now I got less time to get more work done. So what's going on? Christmas week, we're gone. We're gone between Christmas and, hey, if anybody's going to Las Vegas over New Year's Eve, we actually have 2 tickets for extra tickets that we have
for a New Year's Eve party.
Yep.
That
It's
we're gonna go to.
like a 3 or 4 course meal, several bands, all kinds of neat stuff. So if anybody's coming this way, let us know, and we'll let you come out and sit at our table with us. At least we have somebody we'll know. And I was going to say something to Rod, see if Rod and Carol wanted to come out. And he flew here to Laughlin the other day.
He's still on there.
No, I don't see him. He must
He's
be
not.
sitting down.
I don't know.
And so yeah, so we got that. If anybody's interested, just let us know. You can email us or whatever, and come on over. Just got to find a place in Vegas to stay, because we're actually we're there for the whole week, and we're actually staying in. The party's actually at the old Hilton, which is now Westgate, and it's going to be in there. And but yeah, it's like a $500 thing, and we were supposed to. The guy called us to sell it to us, and it was for owners. It was supposed to only be $95, but you're supposed to get 3 nights free stay with it. And
we already had booked the stay.
So she's like, well, can we get at least some tickets or extra tickets? We thought we had some friends. She'd been off work for disability, but now she's got to work. I figured he had to work because he works at the Virgin Hotel as a bartender. I figured that you're going to work New Year's Eve. So when she called him this week, and they said, no, we're both got to work. I got to go back to work, and he's already working. So I said, well, we got to find somebody that, get the tickets away. It didn't cost us anything. We got a thing the other day because I'm like, I never got a confirmation on that money we spent. So she called them, and they sent it to us, and it said you had 4 tickets. So we're like, oh, okay. We'll see if we can find somebody who wants to go along.
Yep.
But you got to get your own room, fly to Vegas, get to Vegas however you want, and you don't only have to stay New Year's Eve. And so
if there's somebody, there used to be a couple that watched us that lived in Vegas, so I don't know.
So let us know.
I don't remember who that was, but
we can get you in, and that's it. And so that's going on. So then right after that, we're going to be back in. So we have about 3 weeks, I guess, that we'll be in here working.
Arizona.
And then last week we're going to be going out to Vegas again, because we're going to be at the Meatcom auction for the.
Well, the week before that, we're babysitting again, and that's what.
Have to bring the kids out here. You can teach them. And so we have to do that. And then in February, we're going to be pulling out. So we got, a lot of crap to do yet, and very little time to do it in.
Yeah.
So that's the problem we've got right now. So I'm trying to get, and then the other in-law is
still sick. I don't know what
Jim.
you're trying to say.
Jim is actually, you've seen him in the video. He
helped build
he helped doing
studio.
the framing and all that for me, and then he was going to help me do drywall. Across the street says he's going to help me, but we got to do it on a weekend, because he works Monday through Friday, or Tuesday through Fridays. So he said give him notice, and he'd help me Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So hopefully in 3 days we hopefully could get it drywall. I don't know if he'll get it all mudded in time, but 'cause I'm not a mud guy. I'm never been any good at doing that. And so we'll see what happens. So hopefully we'll get, at least the studio will be done. I don't know if we'll have everything wired up, but hopefully we'll have that all wired inside there. And because I really would like to get back when we come back in August, that we can put the air conditioner in and all that. Or before August, I guess I was planning on when we come back in April, I guess, to put the air conditioner
in May,
before it gets too hot.
Because May is Myrtle Beach.
So we'll be
after
close
Myrtle
to
Beach, then we'll be
close
back
to where we could pick it up. We got to talk to him about that and see what the
They'll be driving 1,000 miles up the coast to pick it up.
Yeah, but if it's cheaper to pick it up there, we just won't take the golf cart this
round
spring rally, which we really don't use it other than when we're in Orlando. That's really the only time we used it. The rest of the place we just drug it around. So we just have a motorcycle in there, and then we come back, we'd have a big old air conditioner and a furnace in the back of the trailer. And so yeah, so that's the thought we got to do, and got a nail in the tire of the trailer too. I got to take it down and get it looked at. So I get the guy to look at the awning. I was waiting for him to get some electricity so he could see with the light. Nope, Rod left.
Nope.
He clicked off.
He probably figured we were wrapping up.
So he might have decided he's heading to bed or something. Yeah. So he's up. He called last night.
Oh, I know. It was like 11:30, and I was thinking he was an hour ahead of us, but he's still on Mountain Time too. So I'd already went to bed. I turned my phone ringer down when I go to bed. Too many horse flies in Sturgis. Those are rally flies.
Yeah. Really, it wasn't, which they are. They all come out flies. I mean, you got to have some. I'd rather have the flies than I would have the skeeters. No fun to get bit by all them skeeters. Or like in Florida, you got them damn love bugs. Got all the black things across your teeth when you're smiling riding your bike. You ain't got the helmet on.
No bueno.
Yep. So there's a lot of, so almost everywhere you go, there's always something that ain't right. So, hey, it is what it is. And that's part of being in rally life, I guess. You see the good, the bad, and the ugly sometimes. Yep. Sometimes there's some really ugly people. Stick ugly.
Stop it. Oh, see what I have to put up with? He's got to get her geared up. So you guys riding the bike up there?
To where?
Lone Star to Sturgis, Mike and Patsy. Lone Star Rally.
No.
It's good like Sturgis?
No. It's a party atmosphere. Bad thing is there really is no camping around there. You can go into town. There's a guy that does
a room, motel room.
Yeah, which it is. It's just like on Ocean City. It's more of a hotel area than it is. Daytona's like that too. There's not much campground. That's what sucks. Sturgis is the only one that is set up to do motorcycle rallies to bring all kinds of people in. There's plenty of hotels. There's plenty of campgrounds. There's whatever you want to stay at. There's things. There's even free camping you can go to. Federal land you can stay on for free. So that's what's the problem. Galveston, the first year we went down there, I think we paid over $2,500 for a camping site that we had. We were there for 2 weeks. And then we had a spot this year, which would have been, I think it was around $700 we paid and would have paid. We only had a deposit down. Never go back to see if she gave us a deposit back, but they were supposed to. And we canceled it. And that's the only problem when you go to some of these things. Myrtle Beach is the same way. There just isn't a lot of, it's a hotel town. It's not really.
Steve's going to show us some riding.
We've got, we stay at the state park, which is reasonable. It's 40. This year it went up to, last year it went up to this coming up here. It's $44 a night. It was $40 a night before. No, we didn't pay for the sewer. We just had water and electric. But I mean, $44 isn't too bad, but I can't get there really early now. I don't want, it's not feasible to be there a week before paying $44 a night. So we get there a day or two ahead and that's it. Then the day it's over, we head out. So that's what sucks about some of these campgrounds that are in Daytona's the same way. You got Cackleberry there, which, during the spring, it was our winter here, it was a mud hole. And so you got that campground. The bathrooms, everybody says they're nasty as heck. And then you could stay, which we paid 3 years ago, I guess we paid at the racetrack, not in the track, outside of it, because we're not saying they're inside the track. We heard too many horror stories. The outside of the track, and that was $1,500 there just for the rally time. Got there the day before the rally was over, and you had to leave the day after the rally. There we had pump out service. You had electric. It was okay.
Came with three pump outs, I think.
That's a place that's only open 2 or 3 times a year, and that's it.
During the races and stuff.
Yeah, during the races and during both motorcycle rallies, and that's it. And so then you also got.
I don't know if we went to Rocky Point ever.
Yes, we went to Rocky Point 2 years ago. Would have done it this year if it wouldn't have been for gas prices. Rocky Point, if you want to go and just have fun. Just fun. It's a very condensed area. You don't have to do a lot of riding to get to this area. It was easy going. The federales, the police weren't hassling anybody. You gotta stop at the stop signs and all that kind of stuff. But other than that, they were running downtown and they weren't doing any, weren't hassling anybody. But there's a lot of private resorts that had events going on. You couldn't get on it unless you were staying at that private resort. But downtown, where you're on the Sea of Cortez, that's where all the bars are at. But what the funny thing there is there's a whole bunch of shops that are below it, which are normal shops you see like in Mexico, selling T-shirts or whatever junk they're selling. And they have no electricity. So when it gets dark, they close up. So Main Street really clear, and they lock it down. Just only motorcycles can come down Main Street. And it gets really wild. There's girls that have no clothes on. There's people doing burnouts, and you're like this squeezed between when you're watching the bikes, and the guy's burning out. It's like we're up on the balcony. Somebody's gonna get killed. That bike's gonna whip around and take somebody out. And there's some girl all spread out riding on some guy's handlebars, and I'm like, holy crap! And the cops are just watching them down. They ain't looking at nobody. Guys got beer in their side boxes. All the side boxes were filled with beer. They're drinking on the street and stuff. Cops ain't saying nothing to nobody. And so it was a lot. I said what I wanted to do is go with some people. If you could go down there with 5-10 guys, you would have a blast. The more people that would go, the more fun. And it's not that expensive. 60 miles across the border, you need a passport to get in. They didn't search our bike. They didn't do anything. Some people say you need to get that form filled out. They don't ask for that. But we didn't go anywhere. We rode around that town, and that's about it. We rode in, rode out.
So he said he went and he had a flat tire and no one was there to repair it. He said it was a trip from hell. He'll never go back.
I don't know. There was a motorcycle shop there.
And there was actually downtown. It didn't really have any vendors, but they had, I thought there was a guy selling tires.
I don't remember that. But there is a motorcycle shop, because when we were riding around, we found a guy that had a motorcycle shop there. Because I wanted that too. So you just didn't find him, I guess.
I guess not. I don't know how long ago it was either. Maybe that person thought, you can make some money down here during Rocky Point. I don't know. I paid that for the ship 2 passes, and okay, cheaper than hotels. I know. They were saying the $2,500. And he runs in Colorado, like near Pikes Peak. There is Fender Kitten still on? Her or Tony? They did talk about one, because I think Tony asked us to come out to one. The only other one that I know of is the Four Corners down in Durango.
Which we hear that sucks.
1 hour and 55 minutes.
All right, we're almost done. We'll quit at 2. And so we only got 5 more minutes. You guys got any questions? You want to put them on? This is your last chance to do it, because we went the other night. We went to 3 hours, and nobody really watched it after that. So I think she thinks people look at stuff and like, 3 hours. I didn't watch that. But I mean, I click on a lot of times. People have it live. I just kind of thumb through it.
Did you take a gun to Mexico, or did we leave it?
No, we left it in the trailer. Would not carry a gun across the border. Wouldn't carry a knife. I took any tools even out. I had my tools in my bike, but anything that like a pocket knife or anything like that, I even took that crap out of my bike, because you just don't want any trouble. And then she took. What we do is all of our medicine and stuff, she takes a Tylenol bottle, brand new, and dumps it all out, puts the pills in it, and glues the lid back on, the little sticker paper, and then screws it back on. That way, if they open it and say, it's a brand new bottle, I haven't opened it yet. That way you don't have to.
It's got all of our pills.
And you don't, because you have to bring every bottle with every prescription on it.
With the name and all that other stuff. And it's like, I am.
So she did that. And we never, when we came across the Mexican side, they just had, where you guys going? And well, there was a lot of bikes. The people that brought bikes on trailers, they searched their vehicles. People that were on bikes, because I pulled up, and I'm like, okay, now what do we do? Well, what do we do?
I need to talk to you.
And so the trailer was pulled over, and there was farther up, there was a couple more bikes sitting on the side of the road. So I'm like, I guess we'll just go on through. So we pulled on through.
Oh, my goodness.
They wrote an essay.
Yes, they did. I don't know who it is. Hey, one of your viewers just messaged that they can take Camp Easy Ride Express Kit and go camp with y'all. Answer is absolutely. Oh, there we go. That must be Marcus.
Yeah.
Yep,
so there you go.
Marcus. So you can. How about that?
So he'll fix you up.
The Express Kit is a walkaway package, so you can camp wherever you want, and the compound benefits. Reservations can be made at the chip. There you go. How about that?
So maybe we'll need to get him on next week. We need to get you to explain your new Campground Ride Express Kit, because we asked the Buffalo Chip the other day about what was going on with it, and they're like, Rod's like, I don't know nothing about that. You have to talk to Damien.
Yeah.
And so we never called Damien. So we'll need to get Marcus on next week. We'll set it up with you on next Sunday. Have you come on, and you can talk all about
Where
that.
are you at, Harley Frank? He said it's 4 a.m. It's not that late.
No.
Even if he's on the East Coast. There's a small Molly, Cindy, Route, and Harley in Denver Memorial Day weekend. Okay. That might have been the one Tony was talking about. Canada, no guns also.
Yeah. And anytime you're going across a border into a different country,
Arizona.
You don't want to take any guns. Because that's what a lot of people say in Alaska. Well, what you have to do with Alaska is you have to mail your gun to Alaska, have somebody pick it up, post office or whatever, and then have the gun mailed back. Then you got to watch, because different mailing the gun has to be taken apart, or like we had a guy that sent me some stuff, and he had to take like the firing pin out of it or something out of it to say that it wasn't a actual gun you could shoot.
Work time. Buddy mine took a gun to Mexico. Feds caught him 5 years later. He's still locked up. Don't carry in Mexico. Yeah.
Nope, I wouldn't even think of doing that.
It was.
And
I didn't think he did, but I wasn't sure. Sometimes he thinks he's taking it out of the truck, and it's the one.
We didn't drive the truck over.
I know we didn't.
So I normally don't carry a gun in the bike. I got to the point where a lot of people do that. They're like, "Oh, I carry a gun at motorcycle rallies." Why? You're with people that are all like-minded. We're riders. We are motorcycle people. You shouldn't get to a point where you need to shoot somebody in the first place. And if you go into a place like that, and there's a bunch of guys that you probably, which we've said that before. You go into a bar and there's 20 or 30 club members, You know what kind of clubs I'm talking about. And you're probably better off turning around and walking on out.
Yep.
Some of our club members that we know, that's what they said. The good old days, what they did is when they used to come in, they'd lock the door. And you had to stay. If you were there with your wife or whoever you were with, you were there till they decided to unlock the door and go home. And because they wanted to make sure cops or nobody else came in, and you stayed there. And if you tried to leave, you got way more trouble. So that's what we always say, which we have a lot of.
Neil, he needs something to do.
Yeah, we have a lot of 1%er friends that are on our channel, and a lot of them that we get to meet up with at different rallies and stuff. And so they're all really great guys.
I wouldn't want to try to find out.
What?
He says you have to grease the palms in Mexico to get out of jail. I wouldn't.
Oh, yeah, you would. And it's not uncommon. If you get pulled over, it's the same thing. You should always carry a $100 bill in your wallet, and when you're in Mexico and stuff like that, because the idea, you don't want to carry any more than that, because when they see you pull a lot of money out, they don't want it all. So yes, they're more likely to take, if you can get away, give them the money to get away, and they don't arrest you at all. I mean, a lot of other rallies have been like that in the past too. We had one in Sturgis years ago. A girl got for open container. It was a $200 fine. Well, she came back to the campground. It was the first year we went out to Sturgis. It was at Kathmandu. Yep. And this lady was so afraid. She thought I got a felony on my account. And I'm like, did you guys get a ticket? No. I said, the cop just took the money and put it in his pocket. You know, so I said, if there's no ticket, how do they know?
We're either going to write you a ticket or you can pay the $200 fine right now.
Yeah.
So they paid him the $200, and then she was still freaking out. Like, did they take your ID? Did they get your name? No. And you don't have a felony. But she was scared.
But yeah, and I don't know what cop it was. Like I say, this is like 15 years ago, so it's not the group that we talk to now. But
aren't reverends exempt from gun laws?
Should be. Be like Father, what's the guy from Saturday Night Live used to be on there?
Del Bucci or Vahucci or something like that. I don't remember his name.
I need a hat like he's got, a little round hat.
Yeah.
With a brim. Don't send me a hat, because that's not what I want.
He's got his picture in his mind. What he wants
I just gotta look and see what it looks like, and then decide if that's what I want.
Anyway, all righty. So you ready to wrap it up?
I guess.
So we want to thank Rod for coming on tonight and giving us some information, and thank him for inviting all of us out to party with him in Sturgis. And thank Marcus for some information he gave us. Anessa's on for One Sexy Biker Chick, and Mike and Patsy's on, our bride and groom that we're gonna get married in Sturgis. So thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate all you guys. If we don't see you before Christmas, or you don't make it to another live, we wish you all a Merry Christmas. Stay safe, stay healthy. Don't get this crud we got.
Got people coughing around you, get the heck away from them.
That's right. And so thanks for hanging out. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. There's Fender Kitten.
Well, check out all the other stuff. We still got, I want to thank the ones that have already signed up for Verizon with us.
Oh, yeah.
Through Visible. I already got my first $20 off my bill this month. I got a new bill, and I said, holy crap. So we can still get some people. If you want to do that, you can go down here into the links. I actually put it in there today. And if you're buying stuff through Amazon, if you click on our link first and go to our Amazon store, I don't have much in it. You don't have to buy anything that's in our store. But once you click on it, then go into the search and say, hey, I want to buy a new phone. You click on that, and then you buy what you want to buy. And then when you get ready to log out, they're going to ask you for your password and everything to get logged back into your YouTube account. Then we get a cut off of that. So that's a way we can make money. And the idea of this is we're thinking about Florida in December. We spent way too much on the garage. A lot of money we spent this year, and things. I've still got a bunch. I probably got to buy another $2,000 of wire to run the two fuse boxes inside. So this is the way that you can help us, just like I said, with the phone and with the Amazon. It's a way that doesn't cost you anything. You know, you could, just like phone, you can be saving money on the phone. And we love the Verizon phone. Yep. Now we have all three. We have Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile. So we have all three because we need the internet, because nothing's perfect anywhere. And sometimes not all three don't even work. And we're not using Starlink because we have too many YouTubers that we know that got Starlink. And the problem with them is you go to like Daytona and everybody and their brother's already on it, and you get like a half a speed. Well, I'm not paying that much money a month for something that doesn't work. So I'm not interested in it. And we don't do enough rural camping that I don't really, that I need that far. Usually one of our stuff will work. And now we've got the Wii Boost, which it helps us a lot. As soon as my truck rack comes in, it should be around Christmas time when it comes in. It's like a mountain reboot on my truck. I'm gonna have one on the trailer. We had one on the trailer. It works pretty good. And so just ways that you can help us out without having to spend this money. We're going to have a few things coming up to where you can buy some stuff. We're going to talk about the biker bar. We're going to put a link on Amazon. You can buy it through Amazon. Same price as everybody else is selling it for. Great way to haul your bike around. We're also going to do one on a cleaning product, and we're going to have a link. Same thing. There's a link in Amazon. It's just easy for people to link onto that, and you can just buy straight from Amazon. You're still buying from our vendors that you have already, because that's the people that are selling the products on Amazon. There's a lot of independent people like that are selling their stuff. So pretty exciting. We got a lot of neat stuff going on. We already got some stuff set
Myron
up.
says our Amazon link doesn't work. Harry the Farmer.
I don't know. I just clicked on it and it took me to my page. Let me click on this one. When I clicked on it, it did. Let me look. More.
Well, I think I've got your phone number. We'll send you a special
We
link.
couldn't find that page. Well, now what the heck happened? Let me go to the bottom one. There's one at the bottom too. Oh, come on. No thanks. Hit that one. That one did it. Well, why didn't go to the one at the very bottom of the screen? Some reason, I don't know what's different about it.
You might have to check it. Maybe you got something spelled wrong or.
I know I copied it.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, what I did is I went up here and then I hit share, and then I hit copy your URL link.
I don't know.
And then
try the link at the very bottom of the whole scroll. It's the very bottom.
Let me look. I'll see. I should be able to go in there and change it. I'm gonna have to go on the other phone. Okay, right. I'll change it after this.
So good night, Kathy says.
So at the very, very bottom, it is working. I don't know why I copied it and pasted it. So I don't know why it didn't take me to it, but we'll find out. So we'll see all you guys. We should have no video tomorrow, but we should have a video this week.
He said, yeah, that one works. Okay.
And I don't know why that one.
We'll have to change it and see.
Yeah, thank you for telling us, because
thank you.
Because people always do this stuff and they're like, oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
So then they just forget about it.
Because people have said they bought stuff through there, and Amazon has never sent us any money. So that's what we're trying to find. I called my daughter today and said she buys stuff, and I said, go through that link and buy something and let me know you bought it, so I can look and see. Because we won't know for 30 days. It takes 30 days for them to tell you what.
And the other thing is, we don't know who bought it or how much they spent or what they bought. So
it just says you get a commission. Your commission is this month for this month. That's it. So you don't know who's buying or anything else. But somebody last year came on and said, or maybe it was when we were in Sturgis, oh, I bought a whole bunch of stuff right before Sturgis, and you guys are really going to do good. Some stuff you don't make hardly nothing. And then there's some things, I guess it depends on the product.
Like beauty products, I think you make 5%, and then everything else you make like 1% or something on it. So it's not a lot, but it's a little, and every little bit helps.
I figure everybody buys stuff on Amazon, and we can't do it because it's in our account. So it kind of screwed us for what we buy.
It's our other daughter that we need to have it on, and she's on our account.
Yeah, buys through us. So we appreciate you telling me that, and we'll get that fixed.
Thanks, Myron.
So bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for hanging out with us.
See you later.
And y'all stay safe.
Thumbs up.